It's the 74th game of the 2023 Banana Ball World Tour, loved by our good friends over at Zappos. The scorching hot Savannah Bananas, 41-27-2 on the tour, 30-24 against their arch rivals, the Party Animals. 6 games better than them for the first time here in 2023. It's the first ever Banana Ball game from Massachusetts, as we come to you from Campanelli Stadium in Brockton, home of the Brockton Rocks in the Futures League. Over 6,000 fans on hand for the 273rd straight sold-out Nanners game. And let's get a glance at the Bananas defense here tonight in the first Nanners game ever in the Bay State. From left to right in the outfield, it is Michael Deeb, D.R. Meadows, and Noah Bridges. Third to first in the infield gives you Jackson Olsen, Ryan Cox, Danny Hosley, and Eric Jones Jr. Bill Leroy gets the start behind the plate, and Jared Donaldson gets the start on the bump.
It remains to be seen if any trick plays are going to land in the Sports Center top 10 tonight, but nonetheless, 6 trick plays for the Bananas in their last game, 8 in the one before that. They are on a torrid pace, and Ryan Cox with hat tricks in each of the last 2 games, and Jackson Olsen, in only his 4th start back from injury, recorded a trick play as well in Hartford.
Let's get a closer look at the man with 1 trick play in as many tries. Jared Donaldson, in his first World Tour, has been very solid as the Nanners' number 2 starter. Last year, the Southeast Pitcher of the Year and Peach Belt Conference Pitcher of the Year in his 5th and final year at Georgia Southwestern State. Comes at you with that devastating splitter that grabbed him 121 Ks in 99 and a 3rd innings a year ago. And boy, oh boy, the MPI and ERA continue to get lower here as we get deeper into this tour for Donnie.
And in his last start, we saw him square off against a challenger, the Trenton Thunder. He went 6 innings, allowing 3 earned runs, only 1 sprint, and 4 strikeouts. And here's what stood out for Jared Donaldson. He set his new Banana Ball career-low MPI mark, a 1-minute and 28-second 4th inning against the Thunder. We'll see if Donnie can try and best that tonight.
And the Party Animals line up, trying to break this Bananas 8-game winning streak on the road. Of course, it is Reese Hampton at the top. Who else? Dalton Cornett right behind him, and Tanner Thomas due up 3rd. A little swap between Bryson Bloomer and Jake Skoll. Compared to what you usually see for the bad boys in Banana Ball, then it is Garrett Delano, Joe Lytle, Jason Swan, Dustin Baber, and Chase Acuff rounding out the lineup.
Yeah, and it's Reese batting .500 on the season against Jared Donaldson. It remains to be seen what he might have in store for Donnie in the first at-bat of the game as we throw it down to Jesse Cole.
It's time. So on 3, I need everyone here to yell, "Start the clock." 1, 2, 3. Showtime.
The battle for the Pilgrim State begins with Jared Donaldson against Reese Hampton. Hampton out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Donaldson, the pride of Albany, Georgia. Reese Lightning, as I mentioned when we broke down the Party Animals lineup on the pregame show, pacing the tour in batting average, OBP, and slugging. His slash line is .386, .453, .651. And if you're doing the math at home, that means, of course, he's leading in OPS as well, where he has a remarkable 11.05 on base plus slugging.
And if you thought this guy was going to slow down at all after batting .313 in the month of July, he is back up to batting .450 here in the month of August.
And he patiently waits for his partner in crime, Jake Skoll, to send his bat back to him so he doesn't leave the box and get a strike called on him. Tyler Gillum seeing if the man who spent 3 years in the Detroit Tigers organization and 1 in the Arizona Diamondbacks organization wants a little bit of pine tar. Reese refuses his opposing head coach's Here just misses down and in. Count runs full.
How rarely do you see that on the tour? On a 2-2 count, Donnie running that pitch a little in, and it's the fans already booing that was not a strike 3 call from Vince. as it's Ryan Cox laying down and making an unbelievable snag to start this ball game. Trick play number 120 for the Glove Magician.
He's only messed up 7 trick plays on this 2023 tour. He is in a league of his own when it comes to the trick plays. Nearly 2 times the next man, which is Dustin Baber with 68, and Coxie is nearly 3 times everybody else on the tour. Just like the Bananas shortstop and Hampton before him, Dalton Cornett is in his 2nd World Tour. He sprays that one foul. Quick 0-2 count on the Party Animals designated hitter, who comes in slashing .340, .408 with a .500 slug.
And as you can see, down that left field line and into foul territory, how fun is it having fans just standing around there who are able to go try and run out and catch a foul ball for an out? Boy, we could see the fan catch of the season possibly tonight if there's a running snag.
It's a fact. Another 0-2, this one cranked out to right center. Noah Bridges and DR Meadows converging. It's the doctor on the run who will take care of out number 2.
DR Meadows with a great first step as he was roaming out to right center there. Ball was really tagged off the bat of Dalton Cornett, but kind of hung up in the air longer than I think he thought, and even Noah Bridges thought. Good play nonetheless from DR. 2 quick outs here for Jared Donaldson.
And now it'll be the Fleming Island, Florida native, Tanner Thomas, 2018 and 19 Banana. This is his 2nd tour playing for the bad boys of Banana Ball. Had 1 ball and no strikes. Spent a couple years at Tallahassee Community College, finished up with 3 years at Virginia Tech, and has provided a good amount of pop, either hitting 3rd or 5th for the majority of this tour for the Party Animals.
Yeah, and he's really seemed to solidify that 3-hole for the Party Animals as of late. Got a lot of RBIs, 6 already here in the month of August, and he's in that race right now with Jake Skoll. It's really a matter of who is going to be the first man on the tour to 50.
Cut and a miss. He is susceptible to that. His 18% strikeout rate, only lower than Jake Skoll's for everyday Party Animals, as the tour leader in ribeyes goes down swinging. Well-executed fastball there from Jared Donaldson.
Yeah, Jared Donaldson just able to get the swing and the miss there, and he had a 3-minute and 38-second average MPI in his last start against the Thunder. How about this? This first inning for him, 3 minutes and 39 seconds.
He's been awful consistent as of late. Let's get a look at the Party Animals defense as they try and keep this first inning scoreless. Nanners just need 1 run to win the inning, and it is some familiar faces in the outfield, left to right, Jake Skoll, Reese Hampton, and Tanner Thomas. From 3rd to 1st in the infield, Bryson Bloomer, Chase Acuff, Dustin Baber, and Jason Swan. Joe Lytle is the man with a mask tonight, and Brett Helton gets the start on the bump.
We've seen the Party Animals fall off a little bit in the trick play department. They had more trick plays in the month of July as a team than the Bananas, but we are seeing a drastically different team here in the month of August. Dustin Baber and Chase Acuff still doing really good up the middle, but it's the Party Animals who are going to need to limit not only their trick plays missed, but also their errors. We've seen some sloppy play on this Northeast tour.
Brett Helton has only missed 1 trick play on the tour in his 3 tries. Let's zoom in on the Party Animals starter tonight. Kid out of Colorado Springs. Spent 3 years as a 2-way man at the University of Utah, then was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 9th round in 2015. This is his 9th year in pro ball and his first World Tour after he made his Banana Ball debut in the Summer Series a year ago.
And as we look at his numbers as a starting pitcher, this is only his 7th start on the season. A 1-1 record for Helton in 28 innings pitched, a 5.47 earned run average. He's only allowed 5 sprints though, 12 strikeouts, and still a 3-minute and 14-second average minutes per inning and a 99 ERA plus. So when you look at a starting pitcher, he's about as close to tour average as it gets out there.
If you take out his 1 outlier of a start in Birmingham in Regents Field, AA affiliate of the White Sox, as DR Meadows, who has been as hot as anybody here as of late, pacing the Nanners with his .365 batting average. Same goes for his .449 on base percentage. Helton in his 5 starts, outside of the one really tough one, an incredible 3.24 ERA across 25 innings pitched, as that one is lined to Bryson Bloomer, a diving attempt to try and grab it, and it's an infield single right out of the gate for DR Meadows.
And how about this? It's DR Meadows. He missed 3 games due to tonsillitis, came back and held down the 9 spot for the Bananas 2 games ago. A 3-hit night, and now he starts off this game with his 4th hit since coming back from the injured list.
Dangerous man on the bags. We saw him steal one 2 evenings ago in Hartford, part of his Showman of the Night performance, as Helton blows a fastball by the former Chicago White Sox farmhand, Mr. Michael Deeb, who spent 2 years of playing college baseball at Bethune-Cookman, 4 years of college football at Notre Dame before that. DR 36 for 42 in his stolen base attempts on the tour, trying to time Brett Helton here. Michael Deeb in his 3rd World Tour. He's always been a banana, hitting .316, a .389 on base percentage. And boy, he has a monopoly on the 2-hole in the Bananas lineup these days.
He's been excellent, batting over 300, and when you look at this northeast leg alone, as DR Meadows is taking off, and he is going to be caught stealing. What a throwdown from Joe Lytle, taking a bow. We will see if a fan tries the challenge early on in this ball game. But if not, that is DR Meadow. Only the 2nd time he's been caught stealing across his last 25 attempts for the Bananas.
The challenge is not used, and so a 3-2 count now on the Nanners left fielder. Excellent chuck from Joe Lytle there, right on the tag for Acuff to apply it. And Deeb works his 23rd, check that, 21st sprint of the tour. He's testing the Party Animals defense. Close one at second. He's in just ahead of the tag from Tanner Tinder Thomas.
Really close play there. It seemed like Reggie Liggins could go either way with that call. And it's Reese Hampton who kind of went down into that squat position. Really disappointed that the call was not out there for Michael Deeb.
Once again, the fans don't use their challenge. The Party Animals keep theirs in their back pocket as well. And now we go to the 3-hole, where Dan Oberst, in his 5th year as Banana, is lurking. And ahead, 1 ball and no strikes. Gets another half night off. The DH he has been every time since coming back from the concussion that he got back on August 3rd in the ESPN2 game. This one not tracked down by Tanner Thomas, and Dan's gonna hustle his way into a double as Deeb goes over to 3rd base as the potential inning-winning run.
Look, we always compliment Dan Oberst for his base running ability and his IQ, and here, Dan, seeing that that ball was just a lazy pop-up, there's no reason he can't basically hustle it out all the way to nearly 2nd base. Of course, Michael Deeb was holding down 2nd.
Now two-time Major League All-Star and two-time World Series champion from the Boston Red Sox,
Johnny Damon lets the hair loose. Both of his All-Star appearances and World Series championships came just a few minutes up the road in Boston. And the full capacity crowd here in Brockton, all on their feet, as Damon takes up his legendary batting stance.
And what a situation to be inserted into. It's Johnny Damon who now has the opportunity to become the 3rd former big leaguer to score a walk-off here for the Bananas if he can just put it in play. But the Party Animals trying to counteract that. They have moved their infielders in.
Damon 0 for 5 in his banana ball career. All 5 outs were ground outs. 4 with the MLB PAA, 1 playing for the Bananas back in Daytona in the 2nd series here in this tour.
So it's the Party Animals who are clearly playing the percentages here and still have not moved back with 2 strikes here on Damon.
Now the count runs full. We'll see if Helton goes fastball, cutter, changeup, or curve here. 4-pitch arsenal for the man who spent 4 years in the Pirates minor league organization. Finds the zone, that one past Dustin Baber. RBI walk-off single for Johnny Damon, and the Nanners are up by a point 1 inning into the ball game.
Excellent plate appearance at bat there for Johnny Damon, just getting that pitch across the middle. Brett Helton with the lowest ball four sprint percentage of any pitcher on tour did not want to give up the walk-off sprint there, and it was Damon getting the bat around on that Helton pitch and past the infield, which had moved in. Bananas with the first point of the night. They're up 1-0.
Let's see why D.R. Meadows was the showman of the night 2 evenings ago in Hartford, Connecticut.
It was one heck of a game from D.R. Meadows, returning from tonsillitis, and we'll get right into this one. In the second inning, D.R. going backflip, and that is number 35 for number 5 when it comes to his trick plays. Get a look at that one more time. That it was the number 2 play on SportsCenter that night. Amazing things from the doctor. Now, in the third, he comes up against Delano, and this one is going up the middle, and this is where things got really interesting for D.R. Meadows. He was talking with the fan before that AB, told him he was probably going to get on with a single and try to steal a base. And as you can see here, able to swipe third, Kyle Lewis and the boys doing the baby shark. And now, look at this. 5th inning, Kyle on second, Malachi on third, D.R. up again. You know what he told the same fan for this at-bat? He was going to double down the left field line. And that is exactly what happened. Kyle Lewis and the boys getting very excited. And now, the 8th inning, the Bananas down 2 points and runners on the corners. D.R. told the same fan for the third time he was going to try and punch one out to right field. Opposite field double for D.R., his 3rd hit of the night. And boy, just an unbelievable performance from D.R. Meadows. Not just the backflips, but with the bat as we return to play here in the top of the second.
The predictions are truly bonkers. I mean, he made it look far too easy. And on that last one, he said probably a sac fly. Maybe I can grab a hit. He ends up grabbing his 2nd double of the night with that shot down the right field line. So Jared Donaldson has a point to play with, and now D.R., speak of the devil, racing in, jumps over Donnie, the pitch to Bloomer, plunks him. And Bryson Bloomer, on a tour-high 11th time, is once again hit by a pitch. And for the 2nd straight game, he'll break off some suicides before he finally decides that first base will be his home. There he goes.
It seems like an awfully interesting strategy from Bryson Bloomer, getting hit this many times, just continuing to do the suicides like that.
Especially for a guy tied for the team lead in stolen bases. He's 19 for 24, same as Reese Hampton. Certainly used a little bit of that energy reserve there, taking the long route over to first base. And now Jake Skoll with the 1-1 count as he cuts and misses as that on that Donnie splitter. Scully moved back to the 5 spot, holding down left field tonight. He was the 15th overall draft pick back in 2010. The Texas Rangers nabbed him. Spent 5 years in their farm system. 2 as a New York Yankees minor leaguer. 4 years of football at UGA later, and this is now his 3rd World Tour, first with the Party Animals. Chops that one to the right side. Past the dive of Donaldson. Hosley flips just in time. And a big first out as Bloomer moves up to 2nd.
Man, you love seeing that kind of effort off the mound from Jared Donaldson. Even though he was not able to make that play, it was Danny Hosley wisely charging in, making a good play, and not rushing the throw at all, just with the underhand flip, and it was able to beat Jake Skoll getting out of the box very well there.
Now it is our donut hitter tonight, Garrett Delano. He's been in this spot before and has gifted fans free donuts before. Certainly not his goal, though. Party Animals extra hitter was a banana back in 2018 when he was a hitter only. But at his 4 years at Brown and final year of college baseball at Mercer, he was a two-way man. In fact, a finalist for the John Olerud Award for the best two-way player in college baseball, as was Nanner's second baseman Danny Hosley.
And we've seen mostly good numbers from Garrett Delano in the time that he spent on the offensive side, batting over 300, and the OPS plus at 93. Overall, not that bad. All you'd like to see, I think, is just an uptick in his ball four sprint percentage.
Cutting a miss there. He is one strikeout away from the full capacity crowd here in Campanelli Stadium, getting free donuts thanks to Duncan. The 1-2. Splitter in the dirt. Good take there from Delano. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
And Delano batting just .250 against Jared Donaldson on the season. And Donnie still has a strike to play with. I'd expect Splitter there. And he gets the punch out of Garrett Delano as the fans are getting them some free donuts.
On our 28th stop on the tour, the 35th city to ever have live banana ball, they also get themselves a free donut.
That's killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and I'll tell you exactly why. Not only do the fans get some donuts, but Jared Donaldson gets a much-needed second out with the runner in scoring position.
Peter behind the keister of Joe Lytle. The Party Animals catcher, a very dangerous man in the 7 spot, hitting .331, a .401 on base percentage, slugging .460. It's really incredible how productive on offense the Party Animals catchers have been. And of course, that's Lytle, Cornett, and their head coach, Mike Vivacis.
And I feel like we continue to see Joe Lytle climb higher and higher in the batting order. I think they were mixing up the lefty-righty matchup, having Skull the lefty, Delano the righty, and back to Lytle a lefty. Otherwise, you might see Joe even higher in this order tonight.
Couldn't agree more. Big 1-2 here. Bryson Bloomer leads off second. And it's fouled straight back. Deuce is wild here in the top of the second. Actually, nothing wild about Deuces at all. 1-2 pitch coming. And we'll do it again. Lytle, an Oklahoma City native, spent all 4 years of his college ball playing for his dad, Keith Lytle, at Oklahoma City University. Another 1-2 from Donnie. This one lifted in the infield. Jackson Olsen trying to take control, and will do so. Leadoff hit by pitch. Bryson Bloomer was on second with just 1 out, but a strikeout and pop out. Have 2 scoreless innings now in the books for Jared Donaldson.
And good work by Jackson Olsen, who continues to get better and better each time he's manning that third base position, navigating that ball through the lights and the overcast skies to come down with that one and give Donnie another shutout frame.
We've been talking about our lobster this evening. In the K Club, it is 4 votes for Brock Lobster, 1 for Skolevsky, and 2 for Skolevsky, 1 for Larry, and 5 for Brock Lobster. So the K Club likes Brock Lobster. I don't know how the YouTube poll ended, but it's certainly a good time to fill in our good buddy Cowboy Kyle Lewigs on what's going on here.
What? Yeah, what is this?
We are growing a lobster, Kyle.
Oh, is it one of the ones that get bigger?
Yes,
nice.
It is, and we're trying to come up with a name for this fine fellow who already looks like he's gotten a little bigger, if you ask me. Kyle, some of the popular names we've gotten so far are Larry. We have Bill Leroy Jr., Brock Lobster. I'm now seeing in the K Club Skolevsky. You want to throw a possible name in the ring? Oh, no! We've got our winner. It's going to be Larry Brock Lobster.
That's really good. My first thought, the first thing that came to my mind was Larry the Lobster, because I think he's the most famous lobster that I know. He's actually the only lobster that I know.
What about the Red Lobster?
I don't frequent that place enough to, call it one of my own. My last name does start with an L, though, so I was kind of leaning towards Lewigs the Lobster. or lobster Luigs.
Oh.
But, you know,
That's
I
what
think
they
that
tell you
fell
when you
upon
get
deaf
sunburn
ears.
at the beach, huh?
Yeah, but that doesn't happen. I don't ever burn.
We just spent the longest time in banana ball history zooming in on a lobster that is growing in a dish of water.
I want
How-
to see that guy do a staring contest against Reginald Horton.
He doesn't stand a chance. Do we know how quickly those things grow? At what rate? Have you calculated that yet, Josh?
We are anticipating that it reaches about full size by the end of the northeast leg of this tour, so game 2 in Portland, Maine.
Eric Jones Jr. nails Tucker Perry, who is standing outside the Party Animals dugout. That one right off the hip.
Looked like a little hamstring action, not quite high enough for the Tookish.
Yes, just below the derriere. Cut and a miss from EJ, count even at 2-2. Brett Helton back out on the bump for the boys in black and pink. And it's going to be 5, 6, 7 for the Nanners. Danny Hosley on deck, Ryan Cox in the hole. And still a 2-2 count on the former Seattle Mariners and Minnesota Twins minor leaguer who leads this tour in home runs and is pacing the Bananas in RBIs and ball four sprints.
And he's still batting above 300 against Brett Helton on this year's tour, but lately it feels like Helton's been a very tough matchup for EJ as he's going to sky this one out to shallow right field. Dustin Baber will come down with it for the first out.
And a couple things I've noticed down on the field in this early start to game 74. Question mark?
Nailed it.
Nice.
Attaboy.
Yeah, Donnie's stuff looks electric. His fastball's really shooting out of his hand. Love having Johnny Damon around and seeing him coming through in the clutch there in the bottom of the first. And this place is a madhouse. I don't know if you guys are getting the same energy up here, but it is so loud. The fans behind our dugout were stomping their feet before the game started, and I thought a B-52 airplane was flying through the stadium.
Kyle, by the way, great work mixing in a B-52 kind of reference with Brock Lobster. I don't know if you're familiar with the Athens, Georgia
I can
band.
promise you Kyle has no idea what he did.
Go Dogs. But when have we ever seen on a 2-2 count, Donnie missing just inside and the crowd booing because it wasn't a called strike 3? I feel like that's been far and few between.
I love it, man. It's an intimate setting. I mean, the fans, they might not be as many or the biggest crowd we've played on tour, but everybody's got a good seat and they pay attention to every part of the show, the baseball, the antics, everything that's going on, and they are letting them hear it. I mean, it's loud. I can't even think, truthfully.
I'm so gosh darn proud of you, by the way.
You just make me smile.
I'm so proud of you for that.
This one off the end of the bat into shallow left. A cuff out, but coming in and calling him off is Jake Skoll. 2 up and 2 down for Brett Helton here in the bottom of the second. And now Ryan Cox, the shortstop, who has the batting average up to 286, OBP up to 344. He continues to swing a really great bat since the start of June. And he makes me look oh so good. Another base knock, and you never know where he's going to hit it. He uses every part of the field so well.
It is unbelievable. One of the most beautiful spray charts we've got in banana ball. Now 18 hits to right field, 22 hits to center, and 17 to left. This guy is just kind of your old school classic slap hitter. And man, he has reached base at 40% of the time or better since the month of June.
I mean, the month of June rolled around and the boys just started playing some really impeccable baseball. I know a guy that's been a pretty good pitcher since the month of June and hasn't really looked back. And it's been a fun little our third quarter leading into the last leg of the tour for these guys.
I'm sure Donnie's really going to appreciate this.
Oh!
You guys heard it first. I didn't strike first blood, but boy, am I going to get the last laugh here.
That's a swinging bunt. Those are legal, and it's going to be grabbed by Brett Helton. Base knock for Bill Leroy, who has also been heating up as of late. Sometimes better to be lucky than good.
And pretty much a staple crowd favorite everywhere we go, but I feel like in the Northeast especially, since we started this Northeast stretch that we've been on for a while now. Jackson Olsen has been, a clear favorite between Hartford and everywhere else.
This one grabbed by Dustin Baber. He goes glove to Chase Acuff. And that will stop the Bunting 2-out rally for the Nanners. Couple hits, couple men stranded for the Bananas. And now we'll throw it down to Maceo Harrison with a handful of Nanners and party animals. It is player dance time, and we'll be back right after this.
B-I-Z to the law is my name. Baby, the old baby, you is my fame. Still in the game like a G.I. Joe. Kick still singing, he's the star of the show. It's been a long while, but don't get it twisted. I still got flavor like Snapper and Mystic. As I get ballistic, playtime is over. Now it's time to hear my man Mario.
I wanna know your name, man. I wanna know if you got a man. I wanna know everything. I wanna know your number and if I can come over and I wanna know what you like. I wanna know so I can do it all night. But you're telling me I'm just a friend. You're telling me I'm just a friend. Oh baby, you got what I need. Got what I need. But you say I'm just a friend. Say I'm just but you say I'm just a friend. 'Cause I can't be yours. I can't be yours. But you say I'm just a friend. You say I'm just a friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your player.
Maceo Harrison, incredible as per usual. Same goes for a limping Tucker Perry, still recovering from the Danny Hosley foul ball. Jake Lialios, Colin Ledbetter wrap up the party animals, and Vinny DeRubius, DJ the Invader, and Malachi Mitchell out there representing the Savannah Bananas. And your partner in crime, Bill Leroy, furious that he didn't nail his behind-the-back tornado throw down to second base there.
I mean, the degree of difficulty is definitely there, and he doesn't nail them every time, but I would say more times than not, he nails them, and he continues to push the envelope. He's been trying one in between his legs where he turns around. Scares the daylights out of me, and I hope he doesn't do it anytime soon when I'm pitching. But
Kyle, with all the time you've spent with Bill, have you ever tried that play yourself?
no. We have very seldomly switched roles. I mean, I've caught a couple times for his bullpens in college, but you know, his stuff is a little flat. It's pretty easy to catch. The few times I've seen him on the mound, he's got poked around a couple times. He can make it move though. He's got a way better changeup than me, considering I don't throw one. And he can really spin it on a breaking ball.
Tell you whose stuff is not flat. Jared Donaldson has looked great tonight. 2-2 count here on Jason Swan. It's 8, 9, and 10 for the party animals here in the top of the third inning, who trail by a point. And Swanee down on that devastating splitter. Strikeout number 3 for Donaldson. How are you doing on your pursuit of the splitter, Cowboy Kyle?
Pretty much abandoned it.
Yeah.
Been sticking with what's been working with me for this, last quarter of the tour, and then kind of really focusing on going back to the drawing board. In the off season that we'll have coming up, starting in September, I want to toy around with some change-ups and stuff like that, maybe a splitter. Maybe I'll start throwing left-handed, I don't know.
I like all those ideas. Now Donnie, after using the splitter to grab another strike, brings in Hosley, Cox, and Meadows for a choreographed dance. This is another one here that really tells a story. Some would call it an interpretive dance. And after all that, what is going on? Vincent Chapman and Bill Leroy were not ready for the pitch. Now they are, and it's a strike.
I think Bill was attempting to dip Vincent Chapman, and I think he got stuck in the hole, as they call it.
It's going to be a 3-pitch strikeout of Dustin Baber either way. The dance does not faze Donnie. He's got his 4th punch out of the night.
And it's back-to-back Ks on that splitter. Once again, just doing exactly what it's supposed to do, going low in that zone, and eventually winding up kind of in the dirt. Bill Leroy continues to do a good job keeping that in front of him and not allowing the party animals to steal first base on any of the splitters, which we've seen a couple times this season.
Another swing and miss going back to the well there. Biko, that story that he was telling or interpreting was the hoedown throwdown. I know you were wondering that.
I was.
Miley Cyrus tune, Hannah Montana jam. I don't know which one wrote it, which one sang it. Don't look at me like that, Josh.
Was not familiar with it as Acuff bounces it to Jackson Olsen, who on the run goes across the diamond. And the second 1-2-3 inning of the night for Jared Donaldson, who turns into a bull and charges through the flag that Matt Malatesta and Christian Dearman had waiting for him.
And despite racking up 2 strikeouts in that inning, Jared Donaldson finishes that inning just over 2 minutes, a 2:05 mark.
We'll throw it down to Jesse Cole for some human cornhole. We'll be back with Cowboy Kyle Lewigs in the booth after this.
Gets the most water balloons off the dad board. So dads, let's get down. We got the DeMillion family versus the Bosco family. All right, in positions, on your mark. Call it down, Dad. On your mark, get set, go. Squad, here we go. All right, 0-0, here we go, next kid. This is so weird. We go, one bounce. Out. These are just bouncing off these steel abs. We're keeping track. It is 2-1. Let's go. I got abs. Throwing it at the mom. This has got completely unhinged. Now down. Next one. Here we go. Go. Oh, ouch. These water balloons will not break. Keep it going. Next one. Last.
A little short.
This dad is getting drilled. It's 5-1. And we have the winner right here. It is the...
That was weird, and I love it. Now batting for your banana.
Weird is the right way to describe that, Shark. These were rock solid water balloons. I don't know if you've ever played Balloons Tower Defense, but if you have, it's like the iron balloons they send in when things start getting really crazy.
I think that game single-handedly got me through 4th grade.
Cool math games, correct?
I think it was its own entity.
I've always played it on its own website.
Huh.
Yeah.
Or, you know, an app on any of those.
Cool Math might have gotten control of it at some point.
I feel like it did.
Nowadays, I know it's not.
I was a big addictinggames.com guy myself.
Yeah, you kidding me? Okay, we have a even more exciting game to divert our attention to. We already have a 2-2 count on Noah Bridges. Brett Helton working awfully quickly and paints that one on the outside corner. Fastball for strikeout number 1 on the evening for Helton.
Yeah, and I think that's where we've seen Noah Bridges get hurt a couple of times. It's not the first time he's struck out looking, and a lot of the time it's guys painting that outside corner and a pitch Bridges just isn't quite ready to swing at.
To the top of the order we go. Bridges' counterpart in the outfield. Dior Meadows, the center fielder, had an infield single his first time. Chase Acuff will take care of him here. And a quick 2 outs for Helton here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, only 1 minute and 13 seconds into this inning for Brett Helton. And Chase Acuff did the right thing there. I think that's a situation where ideally he would have loved to have tried for a trick play, but with DR Meadows' speed, it was Acuff having to charge and get that ball out of the glove as quickly as possible to retire the doctor. That's the first time he's recorded an out since coming back from injury.
Mind-boggling. What a quick inning here for Brett Helton. Trick plays for Dustin Baber. That is his 69th on the season, and what a nice inning for Brett Helton.
1 minute and 25 seconds for Brett Helton.
The pep band will blast away as you get another look Derek Ginger's 69th trick play on the tour in 75 tries. He is just incredible at second. Jesse Cole and his boys in the brass section blasting away here at Campanelli Stadium, which was built back in 2002 for the Brockton Rocks. Started in the Northern League, then played some independent professional ball in the Can-Am League, and since 2011 have been playing collegiate summer baseball in the Futures League. The Brockton Rocks, a combination of course, Their buddies in the baseball world, the Boston Red Sox, less than an hour north of here in Boston. And thrown in some little small town history. This is the home city of Rocky Marciano and Marvelous Marvin Hagler, 2 world champions of boxing, who are 2 of the 3 jerseys retired here in Campanelli Stadium.
Do you want me to surprise you with something?
Give it to me.
I have no idea who either of those people are.
My grandpa Larry watching, and
Larry
New York,
Brock the lobster?
He's not going to be happy about this.
Sorry, I apologize to all those out there. And Bill's gonna try and go behind the back again and miss that one. I was never really big into boxing growing up. I love the movies. I love Rocky, of course. I love Creed. Southpaw, all of them are good movies. I just never really got too much into boxing.
Cinderella Man?
Yeah, good one too.
Very good one.
I've seen Rocky, and I've seen all the Rockies. Besides that, and I've seen The Fighter.
I've ran up those steps before.
Me too.
You did too.
Good
Same
stuff.
time.
That's right. To the top of the order we go for the Party Animals. Reese Hampton, Dalton Cornett, and Tanner Thomas all due to swing it with a 1-0 count on Hampton, who popped out to short his first time. Vincent Chapman will call time, dust off home plate, and throw away every article that he has on his persons, including a baseball that he sends into the crowd. And stops belting out the emotional music and shakes that rear end like only he can. Josh, you're looking at us like you've never seen Vincent Chapman dance before.
Now guys, how did he contort his body to the side like that? I didn't even see his feet move.
It's because he has evolved into a hamster.
That was witchcraft.
We are within a stone's throw of Salem, so that makes sense.
Yeah, around these parts a couple years ago, they'd be a little suspicious of that man down there.
It's a fact. This one bounced to first. Eric Jones Jr. will go under the leg, but not in time. Tried to grab his 12th trick play on the tour. Instead, Reese Hampton reaches on the trick play missed.
Reese Hampton has reached on the trick play miss, but the fans have urged the challenge, and we've got it from our fans tonight.
They must know I was up here.
So we slap on our Riedel headsets.
Go get them, boys.
All attention comes to us in the broadcast booth and Zach Frangelo with Vincent Chapman down on the field. Let's take a look at the video. Under the leg.
Yeah,
we need to go
see
slower.
It frame by frame. I'm seeing Reese still step on the bag here.
I have safe still.
Yeah, there is not enough evidence to overturn this call.
We got to go real slow. That's
it's
it,
gonna
safe.
Stand.
Close one. Good play to use the challenge on, although it will be unsuccessful.
The ruling of the field stands.
The people of Brockton are going to let the umpiring crew hear it on that one. I mean, I think it was probably the right call. Can't blame EJ there for going for that trick play.
It's tough to get him over at first base. The only question you can have for him is attempting it with Reese lightning barreling down the first base
definitely. That's what
line.
I was going to say. Anytime you can get Reese out, keep him off the base path, you definitely want to do that, as he's kind of the starter, I guess you could say, or the match that starts this this dangerous Party Animals lineup. You like that one?
I'd liken him to a spark plug myself, and I think you kind of saw a little extra stutter from Eric Jones Jr. before feeding it to Donnie, because you saw he wanted to try the trick play there, and I think that's where Reese kind of turned on the Jets, made sure he could get the first there and beat the trick play missed.
And a big cut and a miss. The pride of Pippa-Passes, Kentucky, down to a knee for the second straight swing. And Donnie has his 5th strikeout of the night. That's a big one. Cornette, only his 14th K of the tour compared to his 23 ball 4 sprints. That's the best ratio in banana ball.
Yeah, and now with Cornette down on strikes, we'll see if Reese Hampton is a little more active off of first base here, trying to get into scoring position with Tanner Thomas, who has been excellent this season in those situations, up at bat.
I mentioned it earlier when Bryson Bloomer was aboard, but Reese Hampton tied for the team lead, 19 steals in 24 attempts. The exact same number and the exact same amount of tries as the Boomer, who waits on deck. Right now, Tanner Thomas quickly behind 0-2. He was the first strikeout of the night for Donnie. And currently baffled by the splitter and fastball combination, as another heater's fired in. Chance for the fans to make a play here, and they fail to do it. Another life here for Mr. Tinder Thomas.
And there go the boos again. And you can definitely see, like you pointed out, Pico, the fastball and splitter really working well off of each other. When you see this much spin rate on the fastball, which is something me and Donnie really work on a lot in between starts, is you want to see that true ride and have it play at the top of the zone, and then that's when you see the splitter being very deadly, falling off in the bottom of the zone.
Guys, I was looking out towards the stands after the catch. That guy is getting an earful from his wife about not being able to have come up with that ball.
He put 2 hands on it, just couldn't bring it to the chest.
Sometimes you only get one chance, you know, one shot, one opportunity.
Oh,
this is everything you ever wanted. Would you capture it or just let it slip?
Man, you do that about as good as Tyler Gillum.
Yo.
Good battle here brewing between Tanner Thomas and a jerking Jared Donaldson. Another foul ball. Hampton still hasn't been let loose from first. He can certainly run on his own, but he stays put. A throw behind him. Good job by Eric Jones to knock down the low toss from Bill Leroy. Count 2-2 on Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, and you could see EJ ranging off the bag to make sure he could keep that one in front of him. And the Bananas, that's a big reason why they've continued to roll EJ out at first, is Reese Hampton had a great jump on that pitch from Jared Donaldson, and Bill Leroy stood no chance at offering a throw down to second base.
So good, in fact, that Donnie had a chance to step off the mound and would have had Hampton halfway between first and second. This one fouled off, and the battle between Donaldson and Thomas continues.
We've now got an 11th pitch that is incoming here between Jared Donaldson and Tanner Thomas. And guys, that would be just a couple pitches off the all-time Banana Ball record. We've seen 13 pitches in an at-bat once between DJ the Invader and Joe Lytle.
The 11th offer is bounced to Donnie, who goes between his legs. That is trick play number 2 in as many attempts for Jared Donaldson. Good job by Eric Jones Jr. to dig it out and secure out number 2.
Well, the way Jared Donaldson fielded that ball, he was essentially in perfect position to pull a trick out of, dare I say it, Kyle Lewig's book.
Yeah, it's just how they draw it up. I mean, definitely that takes some confidence, and we've practiced it a couple times, you know, throwing in between starts, but you know, on the move like that, I mean, taking you closer to the bag is definitely going to help you than hiking it from the mound like I've done before. Looking to see him hopefully elevate his game, you know, on another comeback, or maybe he'll go to the handstand, or you know, dare I say, maybe even a backflip or something. I don't know.
Donaldson now faces his and your 2021 Coastal Plain League teammate, and oh my goodness gravy! Jackson Olsen with a sparkling play to save a run.
Unbelievable play there from Jackson Olsen, being able to slide and gather that ball, get up with enough time, and you saw the stretch from EJ, but also a fist bump. It's a close game early on. The Bananas fired up about that gem from Jackson Olsen.
Perfect way to segue into Hey Baby. Donaldson with 4 scoreless innings on the bump, and the Nanners trying to double their lead in the all-important points category. Thank you so much to everybody spending their Wednesday night with us here on YouTube and Nesson 360. Good ball game early on as the Nanners won the first inning, claiming a point, but since then, Brett Helton has been able to keep them off the board in the second and third innings, and will now have the beef of their lineup. 3, 4, and 5. Dan Oberst, Dakota McFadden, and Eric Jones Jr.
You guys not want to do Hey Baby with me? Josh, you too good for Hey Baby?
Never.
Be careful, you get tangled in the wires.
I had to finish up my long monologue there before I could really...
That was beautiful, Biko. I could never be mad at you.
Chad said that the challenge line is hot and needs to be muted.
It does sound like a bit of a dog whistle is coming through Campanelli Stadium here.
I couldn't possibly tell you how to do that, Chad.
You try unplugging it and plugging it back in.
A dog whistle is the perfect description.
Right? I'm glad you could hear that.
There it is again. What is going on? The Riedel headsets are going haywire, and we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Nanners up a point, and a boogieing Brett Helton. Back to business. Oberst, McFadden, and Jones.
And the man I've got my yard card out on tonight, my roommate, my best friend, Dan Oberst.
Two-hopper to his fellow St. Pete man, who takes care of him for out number 1. Oberst a bloop double his first time.
It's the thought that counts. It was hit hard. I think he's more than overdue for a home run, but he's had some really big at-bats down the last course of the last week or so, 2 weeks.
Now Dakota McFadden will hit in his spot in the order. Johnny Damon pinch hit for him first time and lined a walk-off single to win the first inning and earn the only point that has been grabbed tonight. McFadden in his 3rd World Tour, well ahead of that one. A Rocky Mount, North Carolina native, hitting .294, slugging .517, 3rd best on the Bananas.
And already with 5 runs batted in 7 games here in August. That's as many runs batted in as he had all of July. So D-Mac on a pretty hot start to this month.
There's a reason why he hit in the Power Showcase twice throughout his collegiate career. And the Bananas extra hitter ready for a 2-2. Cut and a miss. Really well executed fastball. Ties him up for Helton's 2nd K of the night.
Yeah, great work by Brett Helton, giving a firm fastball over there to Dakota McFadden, running in on the hands, and D-Mac really kind of swung in an effort to protect himself there, came up empty for the Bananas.
Now Helton has to deal with the 2022 Seattle Mariners bullpen catcher, Eric Jones Jr., who popped out to 2nd his first time.
And EJ had a big knock for the Bananas in the last game in Hartford, coming up in the 9th inning with Dan Oberst on 3rd base and getting the game-tying single. And for EJ, it snapped his longest drought of the season. He had gone 8 straight games without a run batted in. And as this pitch gets away from Joe Lytle, it's EJ realizing very late that that ball was to the backstop and cannot advance and steal first base here for the Bananas.
Helton trying to work his first 1-2-3. Check that. It would be his 2nd 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 6 straight. And now deuces are wild.
Nice call.
One lifted towards foul territory. Jason Swan will watch it head into the crowd where it is not caught, so another life for EJ.
Really a lot of good opportunities here in this stadium. Down the left field line, down the right field line, you know, netting not going too high. A lot of kids I saw when we opened the gates at 5:30 with their gloves ready to make a play.
The pride of Charlotte, North Carolina, ready for another 2-2. This one bounced off the glove of Helton. Acuff digs it out across the diamond in time. 7 straight bananas retired for Brett Helton, who gets the assist on that one.
What a terrific play by Chase Acuff as that ball ricocheted off the glove of Brett Helton. Chase redirected himself, ranged over to get that grounder, and made the off-balance throw onto first to get Brett Helton out of that inning in 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
Cowboy Kyle Lewigs, it has been the thrill of our lives, as per usual, to get to have you in the booth, my dear friend.
Yeah, ditto. Can't say any better than that. Looking forward to seeing everybody on Friday in my first time in Portland, Maine. And I got loose last night at the Dave & Buster's throwing pitches, so I feel good about my start and excited to watch some father-son catch here.
Hey, good luck the rest of the way tonight dealing with the good people of the Codfish State.
Salutations to you, Biko, and Biko only.
All because Josh made a little joke about Jared Donaldson being the man who has been incredible on the mound since the start of June, and not Cowboy Kyle.
You just can't commend 2 starting pitchers these days. And that's okay, I guess.
In Kyle's defense, he has been the best pitcher on the tour since the start of June, and thought that he was setting up an alley-oop for us to send home. In our father-son catch, both dads have a kid. Oh, big collapse out by the warning track as the dad heaves his son back into a good carrying position. And it looks like we're going to have a one kid, a person tie here in the father-son catch. And as we bid adieu to Cowboy Kyle Lewigs, we get to welcome in another very special guest, Mr. Jared Carabas, into the broadcast booth. The Rocket, a local hero around these parts in Boston. How has your first banana ball experience been, man?
When I say that it has exceeded expectations, I mean, like, the line was here, and we're up here, and we're still going. Like, I was blown away. I've probably been here since, like, 2:30, and I don't know what story to tell first to kind of, like, and talk about how amazing the experience has been, but just how friendly everyone has been. Everyone is in a good mood. Everyone's happy. Everyone's funny. Everyone is super welcoming. It's one of the best baseball experiences, or excuse me, well, can we say that word?
100%.
Okay, baseball experiences I've ever had.
Because what's at the center of this all is very clearly very close to baseball.
Very, very close. Yeah, I see some similarities. Yes.
Yeah.
And when you look at, early on the gameplay from tonight, I mean, what are your takeaways so far?
I mean, I love how, when you're watching this specific product, you're looking at the guys that no one is sitting in the dugout. There's no one that's moping around, because I dread that. I exponentially dread that. Everyone's having a good time. Both teams are not just on the top step of the dugout. They're out on the field. Everyone's having a good time. And actually, I don't know who the gentleman was, but someone was just at third base, and I saw how upset he was. That, I don't know, he didn't do something that he wanted to be doing. But it's the competitive spirit is there, but the fun is nonstop.
And that's a big K for Jared Donaldson, his 6th of the night. He has 5, 6, 7 here in the top of the 5th inning. He's been absolutely rolling. Now Garrett Delano with Joe Lytle on deck. Delano was the donut man tonight, and the full capacity crowd here in Brockton, Massachusetts will now thank him for getting free donuts courtesy of Duncan.
I mean, what a nice sport. He's even encouraging the crowd to thank him.
This is a guy who was a banana back in 2018, so he understands what's going on in Fans First. This is his 2nd campaign as a professional party animal, behind 0-1.
I do love the party animals, I must say.
You picking up a black and pink jersey before you leave?
I think I'm going to have to. I have some pretty hot pink sneakers that would go great with a party animals jersey. But I also wore my banana Nikes tonight too, so that was on purpose.
I've got to admit, that was one of the first things I noticed when we came down to meet you on the field.
Yeah.
Still a 1-2 count here on Delano. So, Jared, when you think about this part of the country and possible venues for banana ball, you are the pride of Saugus, Massachusetts. Are there any ballparks that are a little closer to your neck of the woods you think banana ball should be played in?
Yeah, there's this place called Fenway Park. They built it in 1912. It was the same week as the Titanic sinking.
How about that?
The Boston Red Sox currently play there right now, but they don't play every game there. Sometimes they go on the road. And when they go on the road, I think Fenway Park would be a great place for banana ball to take place.
See if it happens.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Hey, you never know.
It would really cut down your commute from the hometown too.
That would be nice. Yeah, I would very much enjoy that experience. You know, I know that was one of the original goals, was to eventually one day bring banana ball to Fenway. And judging by the number of people that showed up here 2 hours before first pitch, seeing how people are, there's not an empty seat in the house. Everyone's into it. The one thing that I do love, you don't see a lot of cell phones out right now because people are super engaged. And if it is a cell phone, they're not texting saying, hey, what are you doing later? They're out taking videos, taking pictures of the action that's on the field.
It's a very good point, as it's a 1-2 count now on Joe Lytle, who popped out to third his first time. The only time that you usually see the phones are when Dakota Stilts Albritton comes up, and then just about every phone in the house comes up.
I met Dakota earlier. He wanted me to get in the stilts, and I was like, you know what? I feel like that's going to turn into an internet meme because everyone always gets on me for my height. And I was like, you know what? I'm 5'11", okay? I'm 5'11". It's a respectable height. It just so happens that I cover baseball, and those guys are like 6'6".
Yeah, you're in the right booth here. I mean, we got some guys that can flatter you in the height department.
We're just a couple of average height dudes just trying to make it in life. That's it.
I'm glad that we can all appreciate that right now, you know, as somebody also never officially measured at 6 feet tall.
Yeah, like I think we can just look at this and be like, you know, average height. There's nothing wrong with that. Average shoe sizes. We're just average dudes. There's nothing wrong with being average.
Couldn't agree more. Jason Swan busting out some push-ups. He has a 1-0 count on him. Struck out his first time. Donnie now sneakily has 7 Ks on the night. He is looking as sharp as he has any start on this tour.
And that's already tied his banana ball career high, so it feels like we're going to see him go longer in this game, and we could very well see a new career record for him tonight.
He now mimics Swanee's push-ups. Jason Swan, a guy who doesn't miss a day in the gym, just like our good pal Jared up in the booth.
Yeah, no days off.
Swanee out of Jacksonville, Florida. Spent 5 years of college ball at Georgia Southern. On his first world tour. Ready for a 3-1 pitch here from Donnie. Delano takes off. And it is a strike. Throw down. Not in time. Garrett Delano now 1 for 1 on the tour in his stolen base attempts. Doesn't even have to get dirty.
And it's one of those situations where that's a pretty smart base running strategy from Garrett Delano, and I think he expected that to be ball 4 and a sprint ensue. It's the reason he did not come down sliding, and Jared Donaldson, nonetheless, after Delano's able to get up into scoring position, now sets that new career high with his 8th strikeout of the night.
And he uses the slider to get that 8th punch out. He has not been scored upon in his 5 innings on the bump. As you get another look at some of Donnie's highlights this evening. He's been masterful and baffling these party animals as we pop back up into the broadcast booth with Josh Talevsky and you got to see growing up. Is the only reason why the Bananas lead this game tonight.
Yeah, I saw the walk-off that he had, so I got to see Johnny on the field before the game. I haven't seen him since he slept over my apartment last summer. One of my favorite stories of all time. It was when the Celtics were in the finals. They got eliminated by Golden State, and I was at the game, and I was walking back trying to get away from the foot traffic. My phone rings. Johnny Damon. Hey, man, my flight got canceled, and all the hotels are booked because there was some sort of like PGA event and the NBA Finals. He's like, do you mind if I crash on your couch tonight? And I was like, you know what, Johnny Damon, I would love if you crashed on my couch tonight. So going from a 16-year-old kid that started a Red Sox website to Johnny Damon sleeping on my couch, there's a lot of in between there, but we got there. We ultimately had the sleepover. Yeah.
Jared, is that the first Red Sox current or former to ever crash on your couch?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe. I mean, Johnny Gomes, another Savannah Banana alumni, he has been to my house, and we've watched games together. He didn't end up sleeping over.
Yeah.
Brian Johnson,
Couldn't seal the
2018
deal
World
there,
Series champion. Pat Light has also been. There's been a few, but I think Johnny's the first sleepover.
How about Danny Hosley? First pitch of the bottom of the 5th. He pokes it down the right field line and has his team leading 18th two-bagger of the season, and now all of his teammates will join him to celebrate on second base.
And it's pretty unbelievable the way that Danny Hosley has picked up his offensive performances since the month of June. In fact, over the last 3 months, when we look at his batting average, he batted .385 in June, then .385 in July, and now coming into the night in August, he's batting .389.
That'll play. Overall tour average up to .284. This will get him closer to 400 in the OBP department. He represents the potential inning-winning run with great speed on second base for Ryan Cox, who's 1 for 1 with a line drive single through the right side. So when you create the Boston Red Sox blog on MySpace, I'm sure you were imagining in about, close to 2 decades, I'll end up in the Savannah Bananas broadcast booth because of this.
That's exactly where I thought I was headed, and this is the end of my destiny. This is we've reached the pinnacle. We're here now. And I was telling some of the guys down on the field, I was comparing it to, like, I'm a Breaking Bad fan, getting the chance to be in an episode of Breaking Bad. Because everyone was coming up to me down on the field and introducing themselves, and I was like, I know who you are. Like, yeah, I know who you are. You don't have to introduce yourself. So it was very cool to see everyone in real life and get to talk to everyone in person.
Well, that fires us up to here. Ryan Cox saying he never hit that ball, so it shouldn't have been a foul ball, and he could have been allowed to steal first. Vincent Chapman disagreed, and he has the final say in the matter. So a 2-1 coming from Brett Helton, and now it's a 2-2 count. So Cox still furious with Vincent Chapman. You just can't possibly understand how he thought that he touched that ball. Big 2-2 coming here with Haas on second and nobody gone. And Coxie fouls it off, still having his discussion with Vincent. So tell us about your Savannah Bananas journey, because we've been flirting with you for a while.
Long time.
Even tried to get you here the summer of 2021.
Long time, yeah. So I've been a follower, a fan, I want to say like pre-pandemic. I at least the Bananas were on my radar for quite some time. I will admit there was a little bit of an intimidation factor because of the dancing. I don't dance. I won't dance. It's the one reason why I haven't gotten married yet. Won't do it because I'm afraid of dancing. I was like, I would love to be there, but I was like, I feel like they're going to make me dance. So that was the one thing. I was like, listen, we're going to do this. We're going to do it big. We're going to do everything that you need me to do. Can't dance. Won't do it. But, yeah, during the 2021 summer, we were thinking about going, but then that's when we did the Field of Dreams game. So we had to pick one or the other, and we got outvoted. So it was very unfortunate. But it's better now because now we have it's more established. I feel like it's you got Johnny Damon down there doing his thing. So I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, that's a fact. And you played the long game and it paid off.
Yes, big time. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of playing footsies under the table for quite some time.
Bill Leroy was in his 3rd collegiate Bananas season at the time. Now he is in year 6 as a nanner, 2nd as a pro. Little swinging bunt single his first time. He's in the driver's seat, 2 balls and no strikes. Pops it up right side. Baber and Swan debate on who will grab it. Jason wins the argument and has out number 2.
It's not the first time we've seen Brett Helton go in on the hands of these Bananas. He got the punch out earlier in the game with Dakota McFadden, and now does the same strategy here with Bill Leroy and able to get that pop-up on the infield. Danny Hosley still at second now with 2 outs.
Jackson Olsen, the Connecticut kid, with a 1-0 count on him, bounced into a fielder's choice his first time. Hosley was on second with no outs. Now there are 2. Anders trying to double their lead in the all-important points category. a foul ball. So, Jared, you retweeted or you posted.
Yeah.
It's X now, so it's no tweets.
It's X. Yeah, we X'd it.
It's posting. You posted D.R. Meadows' backflip catch from a couple nights ago in Hartford. It's like 1.3 million views, and I think your note on it was it might be the most impressive baseball play you've ever seen. Obviously, probably a tad of hyperbole, but can you explain that?
No hyperbole. I think seeing someone do a backflip and catch a fly. So I got to talk to him before the game, and it was half me interviewing him, half me fanboying. I was like, because I played baseball through a little bit of college, and I did a lot of travel ball. I was an outfielder. I was like, I wasn't a very good player. So
that one got,
got a guy.
Too much launch angle. Tanner Thomas will grab it for the third down. Yeah, so you, as a man who, very similar experience, played through college, outfielder the whole time, and also somebody who cannot backflip, let alone backflip and catch a ball at the same time.
I tried to explain because I was like, you're probably a very good player. And honestly, he was an infielder first, right?
Right.
And he transitioned to the outfield. But I remember the panic of just fielding a routine fly ball, camping underneath it, waiting for it to come down. Please, the sun, I don't want that to get into the way. And I was like, you can do that plus backflip while you catch it. I was like, how many times have you done? Dude's done it 30 times. 30 times. It's the first time it's come across my dashboard. So I was like, this might be the most impressive thing I've ever seen. And he's like, yeah, no, that's probably the 30th time I've done that. Okay, cool. That's pretty nice.
That's the crazy part about it, as we see if Christian Dearman can be a better dancer than this young fan here. And I love Mr. Electric's dance moves. He's got a lot of charisma, some chutzpah, as my people would call it, but I don't think he could compete with that. This is good stuff. So as we enter the 7th inning, Mr. Rocket, sir, can we keep you for one more frame and play a game with you?
I would love to.
Okay, terrific. As a DraftKings man, who, of course, it is a wagering company.
Ooh, okay.
We would love to make a little wager here.
Let's do that.
Which team do you think is going to win this carry the one 6th inning?
Without knowing any statistics, I'm just walking into this blind. It's a gut feeling. I feel like I gotta go with the Bananas. I feel like I have to go with the Bananas.
Okay, I like that choice. Now, if the Bananas win the inning, Josh and I will broadcast the rest of this banana ball game shirtless.
Okay.
And if the Party Animals win the inning, you, if you would like, if you agree, would post a selfie with Josh and I with any kind of caption you'd want. Maybe the best broadcasters in banana ball.
I would love to do that.
Okay, terrific.
It's a win-win for both of us.
All right.
Done. Deal.
Great. Let's see what happens.
Deal.
I've got to let you know ahead of the time. I've crunched the numbers a little bit. Party Animals batting .304 in the 6th inning this season.
Okay.
Bananas at .284.
Okay. You know what? I like to be the dogs.
Bottom of the order for both squads. It's 9-10-1 for the Animals, who Josh and I are now huge fans of for the time being. So that one is caught on a ricochet. It will not be an out, though. You have to be the first person to touch the ball and catch it cleanly, or else things just get really muddy out there in the stands.
That is one of my favorite rules, by the way. Like, I heard about the 15-year-old that caught the ball to win the game. I mean, I don't know. How many views does that have on TikTok?
That's a great question on TikTok. I know on Twitter it's about 5 million, which is a huge pop for the Twitter world.
Yeah, it's hard to get views on Twitter. Twitter is probably the hardest to build a platform on and get views.
Yes.
Which is baffling why that's my go-to platform. I'm terrible at TikTok and Instagram.
Likewise, and it's funny. I mean, you look at the Party Animals, who have a very tiny Twitter, and they're already, I think, approaching about 2 million followers on TikTok. It's just a whole different world.
The word on the street is that both the Bananas and the Party Animals have more TikTok followers than any MLB franchise. Is that true?
Well, the Bananas are approaching 8 million. So
oh my God!
Nobody is close there, and I do believe that the Party Animals have
2 million
gone past every MLB team as well, as Dustin Baber tucks that one in the left field line. Michael Deeb has some trouble with the ball. Babe slams the brakes and will reverse course back to second for a leadoff double. He's 1 for 2 on the night.
Yeah, Dustin Baber saw that pitch from Jared Donaldson, was a little out in front of it, but able to get that down that third base line. And you usually see that from the man batting behind him in Chase Acup. Now we'll see if Acup, who is third on the Party Animals in doubles this year, is able to drive home Baber.
See what the party animals have for us. It's like a specialty walk up to the dish for Chase Acuff, who is coming from the stands.
Oh, he told me about this pregame.
Do you have any insight on what's happening here?
No, I just asked if there were going to be any wrestling references, and he said no. Oh!
It's a good party at the dish for the animals. And that, I'm sure you will see on the Party Animals TikTok within a fortnight or two.
Oh, that's incredible. They lived up to the hype.
It'll look even better on the interwebs. This one laced out to center. DR Meadows in pursuit and has the grab. Baber dekes towards third, but will stay put, and that's a good decision. Perfect one-hop toss from Meadows.
So, Jared, we were talking earlier about the fans catching the foul balls. Did you set yourself up during this game in any position to try and catch a foul ball tonight?
I've been moving around, yeah. I mean, I'll admit, as an average-sized guy, I have an average-sized hand, so I don't know that I could be too much of help to the Bananas in that regard. But I was moving around. I was very vigilant. It was something that, you know, coming into this, like last night, that's not good for me.
No, it's a good piece for Reese Hampton. We have a pinch runner. Looks like Mike Vivacis, the head coach, pinch running for his second baseman. He scores. And Hampton will head up to second on the throw home. Party Animals, as soon as the Rocket shakes our hands on a wager, have scored the first run of the night.
They sure have.
And we'll celebrate with what has become a signature dance every time they push their first run across on the evening this tour. A lot of pumping, a lot of gyrating.
Who's the gentleman front and center?
Jake Lealios.
I don't know how he has that much energy, because we were down in the third base camera well, and this dude has been putting in max effort all night with the dance moves. Has not taken a break, has not taken a breath. Mad respect.
It is hypnotizing, it's mind-boggling, it's confusing how he can move his body that way.
And still play a baseball game.
Correct. He's a converted catcher to a pitcher. And before he joined us on his first world tour, he had a full-time job at Fidelity.
Oh!
I don't know if it tells you anything else about Jake, but grew up and his celebrity role model about his entire life has been Pitbull.
Pitbull, okay. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of energy as well.
Makes sense, right? Hampton now over at third on the wild pitch. The Bananas bring the infield in. Dalton Cornett in the tool hole has flown out and struck out tonight, which was only his 14th strikeout on the tour. Tied with Ryan Cox for the tour low.
In your guys' opinion, who has had the best walk-up special entrance of the entire year?
Wow, that is like asking me to choose between my hypothetical kids that do not exist. A throw over to third, Jackson Olsen with a scoop and a tag, and Hampton is out. Here comes Jesse Cole. And here comes Jesse Cole.
Number 4, Tanner Tender Thomas.
And here's Jesse Cole.
Now coming to pitch, former NFL Pro Bowler and comeback player of the year and Heisman Trophy winner for Boston College. Please welcome Doug Flutie.
That's crazy.
How about that for an ace in the hole? Doug Flutie, the 1984 Heisman Trophy winner, who holds the most legendary play in college football history, will step back. Good protection from the Nanners infield. He chooses Noah Bridges, and it is a clean connection to the Nanners right fielder.
He's still got it.
And now he's going to pitch. Tanner Thomas homered a couple nights ago in Hartford. He's ahead 1-0. So far 0 for 2 on the night with a strikeout and ground out.
And something people may not know about Doug Flutie is this is a guy who has actually kind of honed his pitching craft working with Tim Wakefield of the Boston Red Sox. Tim taught Doug how to throw a knuckler.
Is that what he's throwing right now?
I believe we're seeing a lot of knuckleballs from Doug Flutie, who, by the way, if we're going to get deep in the archives here, was actually the star of an MLB Network reality show when they were just getting off the ground called The Last Knuckler.
Oh my God.
4 contestants, he was one of them.
That's insane.
We'll see if the famous knuckleball can get him out
That's
of a sticky
definitely a
situation. Yeah, and that is going to be ball 4. So a 5-pitch sprint for Tanner Thomas, who does not test the Nanners' sprint defense. They get it around all 7 fielders behind the pitcher and catcher in short order. Cornett goes first to third, and now runners on the corners with 2 down for the cleanup hitter, Bryson Bloomer.
You know who Tim Wakefield's neighbors are?
No.
Jason Varitek and Bill Belichick. All like on the same block.
Now Varitek makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
but Belichick, that's a wild one.
Yeah, they're neighbors.
That ball hit to the moon. If it's fair, it's gone. It is foul. Bryson Bloomer also homered 2 nights ago. And the power surge is coming back to the Boomer. Fouls that one off. Fan makes an amazing catch, and Doug Flutie's out of the jam.
I mean, you can't even script it that well. It's Doug Flutie with the 0-1 pitch to Boomer, and this one going just over the Bananas dugout. The fan coming up with the catch, and he and everybody else are pumped.
Oh my God, what a grab.
Did not have that on my 2023 bingo card.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time,
A Doug Flutie pitch to Bryson Bloomer, caught by a fan in Brockton, Massachusetts.
will the members of the United States
That has to be the best thing going in sports, period.
please rise.
Yeah, the foul balls caught by a fan really fire us up. We now honor all the military members, both past and present, here in Campanelli Stadium, and pass that on to everybody watching on YouTube and Nesson 360. We have Jared Carabas in the booth. And if the Party Animals can win this inning, which they currently lead 1-0, Josh and I get a selfie on any social media that you would like.
Well, we got to do Twitter. That's the biggest one.
We'd like the power of,
Yeah.
of the X.
Yeah, we could do that.
Hope.
Shirtless selfie.
Yeah, Chad Reese, our coordinating producer, said if the Bananas push just 1 run across, maybe a shirtless selfie would do.
It's the fairest trade I could think of.
So Brett Helton's going to be out for his 6th inning of work here. Nanners lead 1-0, thanks to a Johnny Damon first inning walk-off single. And since then, it's been nothing but goose eggs for both sides until the Party Animals used a double by Dustin Baber and a single by the best hitter on the tour, Reese Hampton, to get their first run of the game. Here's Tyler Gillum with our fan who just made the catch on this foul ball.
Fans introducing the fan who caught the ball from Sutton, Corey.
Now we have to commend all the great people of Massachusetts and in the greater Boston area, wherever folks came from, as Jesse Cole's back.
Coming to hit the world's tallest batter.
Yes.
Please welcome Dakota.
Well, we chose the absolutely most banana pants bonkers inning of the night for a little wager here.
Yeah. Also, another thing going against me here, Dakota's stilts are new.
Yes.
They were not comfortable before the game, so he's up there battling right now. This is going to be his first at bat, I believe, with the new stilts.
You are correct. He broke his stilts in Staten Island, where a fan actually caught his foul ball for an out. That one's barreled, but Reese Hampton there, who goes behind his back for the catch.
I mean, absolute chaos out there on the diamond. You're going to get the tip of the helmet from Dakota Stiltsall Britton, but it's Reese Hampton with his 12th trick play of the season for the Party Animals, there to retire the big man.
This is Banana Ball. To the top of the order we go, and D.R. Meadows, who's 1 for 2 on the night. And now Brett Helton will bring in Acuff, Baber, and Hampton for a choreographed dance on the 1-0 offering.
Jared, as we go one back one more time to the fan who just caught the foul ball. I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but would you like to wager any kind of guess as to how many foul balls have been caught by fans on this season's World Tour?
Oh, man. Can I ask how many games?
We are in our 74th game of the tour.
74th game. How many balls have been caught by fans for outs? I'm going to say... I'm going to say 52.
It's a great guess.
That is surprisingly close. 49. That was the 49th fan to catch a foul ball this season.
That's pretty good.
You're right on it. By the way, too, I wanted to clear some things up, too. I'm pretty sure the average size man in the country is 5'9". So you're an above average.
Yeah,
I'm 5'8", so I'm
there you go. Oh, I mean,
knocking on the door.
1 inch below, 1 inch above. It's all in the average range.
Yeah. Back up the middle, and DR Meadows is 2 for 3. What's new?
So I actually I have to keep a photo of Kike Hernandez and I standing next to each other. So I have that picture, and then I have a screenshot of his bio that says 5'11". For when people call me short, I'm like, same height as Kike, and he's 5'11". So there you go.
Such a strong response.
Have to do it. You got to have receipts.
And so lovable, too. I mean, that's the right guy you want to be comparing yourself to.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Back on the other side of the country with the Dodgers these days is Kike. But he had a fun, albeit short, Red Sox career.
Yeah. I mean, we'll always have 2021.
DR has been caught stealing once tonight, which makes him 36 for 43 on the tour. Michael Deeb is 0 for 1, a ground out and a 2-base sprint. He scored the inning-winning run in the first on the Johnny Damon single.
Has anyone used a wrestling entrance theme as their walk-up? Not one?
Bryson Bloomer, third baseman for the Party Animals, has done a whole boatload of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, smashing beers across his face right on home plate.
Austin Riley does that for the Braves. Anything else? You got to get me involved here. I would love to coordinate with some of these guys on their entrances. Like, I feel like we can take it to the next level for sure.
I'm all in on that.
Yeah.
On last year's tour, Jake Skoll had some kind of big wrestling intro in West Palm Beach.
Former first-round pick?
Correct.
Yes.
The one and only.
Lately, we've been venturing kind of into the Disney territory of our walk-ups.
Yep.
So, believe it or not, the Bananas are playing the Trenton Thunder just a couple nights ago, and Bill Leroy, the Bananas catcher, comes up to Friend Like Me from Aladdin, and then knocks the game-winning walk-off double right afterwards. Only sees 4 pitches, knocks the game-winning double.
Amazing.
It was a full production. I mean, it was the bells and whistles. It was mind-boggling. Big payoff pitch coming here to Deeb. Meadows is on the move. Grounder past the dive of Jason Swan. The doctor will pump the brakes at third. Vitamin Deeb, the former White Sox minor leaguer, is 1 for 2. And the potential inning tying run at third base. Deeb represents the potential inning winning run across the diamond at first.
And it's Michael Deeb staying hot here, especially in the month of August. 7 of his 8 games this month, he's recorded at least 1 hit.
And he's immediately pinch run for by Malachi Mitchell, Flash the Kid, son of Dennis Mitchell, former gold medal Olympic sprinter for the United States.
Question for you guys.
What do you got?
If a ball comes up here, can you make the catch for an out?
Correct.
You can?
We've convinced ourselves we can.
Yes.
I mean, that's a rule that has to be discussed.
Dan lifts this one to left. Jake Skoll behind it. DR tagging from third, and he will stop and would have been out by a mile.
Yeah, that was a great throw. You can't really make a better throw than that.
That was a strike. So Oberst not able to get the job done. You don't say that very often. And now it'll be up to Dakota McFadden, who struck out in his lone trip to the dish against Helton. Yes, in our job description, we are broadcast entertainers. That is our official job title. And we are the most knowledgeable, energetic fans. That's the key word there.
Got it. Okay, yeah, so then that plays. You guys are definitely eligible to make an out here.
We're dying to make a play.
Have you come close?
Never. D-Mac grounds out to short. Brett Helton works in and out of trouble, and the Party Animals tie this game at 1 point apiece, which means Josh and I get a selfie on the
tweeting.
Rockets Twitter.
We're going to do both. I'm going to put you guys on Instagram. I'll put you on Twitter, the whole deal, whole 9 yards.
Huge.
Yeah, you guys get the works.
This is awesome. Do you want to do it right now?
Let's do it right now.
I mean, no time like the present, right?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Do we want to do the field in the background?
That makes sense
Yeah,
to me.
that's
We're in
the
the
right
booth.
call.
Show it off.
Beautiful.
Good. Jared Carabas, we cannot thank you enough for joining us in the booth, man. This has been an absolute blast, and I don't think the last time you'll be up here.
No, I will be back. I don't know when, but if I have to travel, now I know that I can, and I will. So thank you guys for having me.
Jared, I know if Fenway's a possibility, we'll hopefully see you there. If not, I feel like we've really got to get you in Savannah for the Grayson Stadium experience.
Let's do both. Let's do both.
Put it on the docket. How about this fan? Outraces the Flash, an incredible performance. Just another great example of how your folks here have been fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
There goes Jared, who has a bajillion people following him online in the baseball world, and is great for highlights galore. If you're interested on the old interwebs, that parlays us into the 7th inning in a tied ball game at 1 point each, as Connor Higgins just spiked a ball that went off the helmet of Bill Leroy in warm-up pitches. And the Bananas catcher is a little woozy here. Now Francis Gilbert and Adam Virant will go out there to check on the man with the mask for the Nanners. Game has come to a standstill as Dakota Stiltz-Albritton will be playing first base, and Francis is conducting a concussion check on the 6-year Banana. That also segues well into what Connor Higgins has been like for the Bananas. He has got a Major League Baseball arm, made it up to AAA in the Los Angeles Angels organization, but control has been his only bugaboo.
Yeah, he's been a little erratic. We have seen more ball force sprints than strikeouts for Connor Higgins, as Francis, Tyler Gillum, and Adam Virant going to confirm that Bill Leroy is okay and able to catch here. And the last time out, we saw Connor Higgins, no ball force sprints allowed, actually. He worked a 4-minute and 38-second minutes per inning mark and picked up the win. So, could be a sign of good things to come for Connor Higgins. And usually you can tell pretty early on in the outings kind of what you're going to get.
From the Allentown, Pennsylvania area, and we were about to give the buzzword tonight. Since we're in the 7th inning, a free pair of Hokas will be given out, and now is the time to enter into the running. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link in the description of this video as well as in the comment section. Give us your contact information, and then in the buzzword section, you want to put Chowda. That is CHOWAH. And there's a D in there, too.
Correct. I was actually going to note that, but you're a pro's pro. You've got it figured out, and it's Ryan Cox. We've got double vision here in Brockton. Ryan Cox laying back down and making his second trick play via that style.
Tush on the ground, round 2, electric boogaloo. Coxie grabs his 121st trick play on the tour, which obviously leads all fielders. That retires the former first rounder, Jake Skoll, who's 0 for 3 on the night. And it'll be Garrett Delano, a strikeout and a single, as that heater grazes the outside corner. Higgins with a mid-90s fastball, about 94 to 97, works a slider and changeup in there to boot.
Now, I'm almost positive you go to a restaurant around these parts, you're going to see chowder on the menu spelled in that fashion as well.
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I think they're going to spell it chowder, but it's just pronounced chowder.
Well, I've got to get out more then.
You might find it spelled that way once in a while. I think it'll be more of a gimmicky joint than anything, not to disparage any restaurants that are labeling their New England clam chowder chowder, as this is a disastrophe for the Bananas. They got it all the way around the infield, but the outfielders have not touched it. Now it goes from Deeb to Hosley to Meadows, and finally it gets around the outfield on a scary sprint in which Delano grabs 3 bases.
Yeah, you saw Dakota Stilts-All-Britain, who was having to range over to be a part of that sprint defense, and decided rather than throw it to DR Meadows, who I think was expecting that ball and is usually the man the Bananas are throwing it to first out of the outfielders, Stilts kind of sidearmed that ball to Michael Deeb, who was not anticipating it, and that's the reason the ball rolled into left field there and got Garrett Delano on third base.
Everybody in on the infield grass except for Ryan Cox at short. Joe Lytle, the catcher, with a pop out and strikeout today, ahead 2 balls and a strike. Vincent Chapman waving around the area behind his rear end after the largest toot that Brockton, Mass. Has ever heard reverberates throughout Campanelli Stadium. Big 2-2 pitch. Heater misses. No, it gets the outside corner. Looked a tad out from the broadcast booth, but Bill Leroy steals a strike, and that is a huge second out.
It took Vincent Chapman a second to register that call and call it out, but it was Bill Leroy emphatically giving the fist bump as soon as Connor Higgins fired in that pitch. He knew that was strike 3.
Now a heater fired high to Jason Swan, who had strikeouts in both his plate appearances against Jared Donaldson, who, by the way, ends up going 5 2/3 innings with a tour-high 8 strikeouts and only allows that 1 run. It was a masterful performance by the Nanners splitter specialist.
You just saw just about everything working for Jared Donaldson and consistent strikes for him at that, and I think that was the big key to his success out there on the mound tonight.
It was an arsenal that powered him to being what the good folks in Division II baseball said was their second best pitcher in the nation a spring ago. Big 3-1 here to Swanee. It misses down, and the Party Animals will pick up a run for the second straight inning. Once again on a sprint, it's going to be a close one at second, but not in time to get Swan coming in with a head-first dive. It is his 26th sprint compared to 27 strikeouts on the tour. And he grabs his 36th run driven in as the Party Animals pause for a second and now break out a smooth boogie here with Brett Helton, their starting pitcher, leading the charge.
And that is the 10th ball 4 sprint with runners in scoring position for Jason Swan, which really tells you just how patient this guy is and why he's been able to rack up all those runs batted in for the Party Animals.
Shout out Mary with an $86 donation in the chat. We appreciate that. That is very kind of you. That was for Jared Donaldson's 86th strikeout on the tour. How apropos. Dustin Baber now, a strikeout his first time. And then he doubled and was pinch run for by his head coach Mike Vivacis, who scored the inning-winning run back in the 6th. He's ahead 2 balls and a strike as Connor Higgins wonders aloud to Vincent Chapman where that missed.
And you're seeing some pretty sizable leads from Jason Swan, who now takes off, and it's Bill Leroy who is not able to handle that ball. But if they can find any solace in what just happened there, despite Swanee being on third base, that pitch a called strike from Vincent Chapman.
Now the count runs full. We're tied at a point apiece. Party Animals have put a run on the board in back-to-back frames. Heater freezes Dustin Baber there on the outside corner. 2 strikeouts in the frame for Connor Higgins, but the 2 sprints he allows puts the Party Animals on the board, and if they can blank the Bananas in the bottom of the 7th, they will win their second straight inning.
And it's going to be very interesting to see what the Party Animals strategy is going into this bottom half, whether they stick with Brett Helton or whether they're going to go to the bullpen, which has proven to be very shaky as of late.
We have a brand new promotion. Let's throw it down to Jesse Cole for some Doug Flutie blindfolded football.
0 for 1. All right, Max, you're up next. Here he goes, full speed. 0 for 2. All right, we got Faith here. All right, here comes Parker. We ready? Set, go. All right, I think we need one more. Let's go. Creighton, come back up here. All right, Creighton, one more time, go. Oh. All right, last two. We'll go two more. Creighton took one there. All right, and last one. Fans, you judge who did it best. Here we go. Fans, I don't know about you. Should we give some Parker? Let's go. Doug Flutie and Parker, I think it's our final one.
Well, if we ever get Doug Flutie back in Banana Land, I would like round 2 on that promotion. That was a hoot.
They're going to do it dropkick style next time.
Man who had the first drop kick in nearly a century when he was playing for the Patriots back in the early 2000s. Got to thank Boomer for that one. And Eric Jones Jr. takes one step out of the box but keeps the other foot in. And this is where Vincent Chapman does not have a full grasp of this rule. If you keep a foot in the box, then you do not have to go to first. And Vincent is saying that Eric Jones Jr. is out for trying to steal first base, but he kept the right foot in the box, so he should still be in there.
Yeah, and we're seeing EJ continue to stay in the box, pretty animated. And the Bananas will challenge.
We have a challenge.
It's the right call for the Bananas.
Correct. So we have to see here if Eric Jones Jr. was able to keep one of his feet in the batter's box. Okay, let's see it in the control room. We just need a camera on Eric Jones Jr. to see if he entirely left the batter's box or not. High home is truly what we need. That one doesn't tell us anything, I don't think. Correct, but if he has one leg still in the box, our monitor is frozen. We really just need high home. It was frozen in the booth. Okay, so that call is reversed. And that is why there are challenges in Banana Ball. Vincent Chapman arguing his case, but the ruling on the field has been overturned. And Vincent shaking his head in disgust. A lot of barking going back and forth now between Joe Lytle and the Bananas dugout. Fascinating situation there. It's a 1-1 count on Eric Jones Jr.
And you saw the same thing from Mike Vivacis, head coach of the Party Animals, who was chatting with Coach Adam Byron during that challenge. And what? You're going to see the tensions kind of flare, especially in Banana Ball, because every game is close, much like now.
1-2 count. Brett Helton asking for that one there. Now he's having some kind of conversation with the Nanners dugout. Jones able to check his swing. Did he go? Reggie Liggins says no. 2-2 count. This is a big moment in the ball game. We're tied at a point apiece. The Party Animals, if they can keep the Bananas off the board here in the bottom of the 7th inning, will take their first lead of the night. And a cut and a miss. So after all that, what would have been a caught stealing of first base is a strikeout.
And good work by Brett Hilton, kind of unfazed by the fact that that had to go into a challenge and everything, continued to pound the strike zone, kind of make Eric Jones uncomfortable. And, you know, I think that situation for Jones, kind of as heated and as animated as he was, really kind of took his head out of that at bat there. Probably a big reason why you saw the strikeout there.
Bill Lee is the second foul ball victim of Danny Hosley's night. He took out Tucker Perry back in his first trip to the dish in the second inning. And this time he clips the Red Sox Hall of Famer sitting outside the Party Animals dugout.
And wouldn't you know who's giving him a talking to, telling him to learn? It's Tucker Perry.
Yeah, someone he can commiserate with. Big 0-2. Now 1-2. A reminder that our buzzword in the Hoka giveaway tonight is Chowdah. C-H-O-W-D-A-H. Bender is popped up, right side. Lytle going towards the Bananas dugout, and able to catch it as he trips over Alex Ziegler's big bat. Very athletic play by the Party Animals backstop.
It's an incredibly athletic play from Joe Lytle. Basically got up from that crouch position as quick as he could. And you've got to credit the Bananas sportsmanship there, as you saw the entire dugout area clear out from where that ball was landing.
Hosley now 1 for 3 on the night with a double. And Ryan Cox will swing away. Line drive single to right his first time. He struck out swinging back in the 5th. Brett Hilton trying to earn a point in as many innings. And that one's going to be grabbed by Bryson Bloomer. A 1-2-3 frame for Hilton. And the Party Animals, with their first lead of the night in the all-important points category, they're up 2-1.
And that is going to go down as one of the more unconventional sub-3-minute innings you will ever see. Brett Hilton registers that at 2 minutes and 59 seconds.
And it is 2 minutes and 59 seconds because the MPI timer is paused for any challenges or extraneous walk-ups.
Correct. Thank you, partner.
That's what I'm here for. Let's throw it down to the young professor. See what the good folks of Brockton, Massachusetts have to do here when it comes to a grandma dance-off.
Took a big hop. All right, Carol. What is your name?
Joanne.
We got Joanne. Go ahead, Joanne. Let's see it. Claps up.
Kathy from Quincy.
All right, Kathy, let's see what you got, girl. Oh, look at her. Uh-oh. Showing a little from behind the crowd. There she goes. Oh, it's a shimmy. Kathy, oh my. I don't want anything to do with this. I have to apologize for my wife. Oh, my goodness. All right, how did we feel about Carol? What about Kathy? And what about Joanne?
Well, as the young professor loses his mic, we find Nolan Daniel on the bump here for the top of the 8th inning. He has been incredible in his first ever professional season as a Banana. Year 4 for him as a Nanner in total.
He's gotten some good run support. He's earned 2 points for the Bananas and is still yet to lose a point. And once again, no ball four sprints allowed yet this season for Nolan Daniel as the lights go off and the Party Animals rage with Chase Acuff.
Talk about a great way to plus a walk-up. And as Acuff in the 10-hole comes up to kick off the 8th inning, we have a legendary guest once again in the booth. In fact, a man known better for what he did with the right arm, but also a whole lot of history with the right leg in the kicking department, Mr. Doug Flutie.
How are you? How are you? This is unbelievable. This is so much fun. You would not believe. I was so excited to walk out there and be with these guys. That was a blast. And Johnny got the bat on the ball and knocked in the run. been a great night. Now the Bananas got to come from behind.
That's a fact. They're down a point with 2 innings to play here. 0-1 count on Chase Acuff, who was a teammate of Nolan Daniels in 2021 when they were both Bananas. Ryan Cox goes between the legs. His 3rd trick play of the night, 122nd of the tour. So, Doug, walk us through your experience tonight in Banana Land, man.
Well, we're going out. We're doing the little football thing there for a promo, messing around, having fun.
Yes.
And all I'm thinking about is pitching in my head. So it's like, okay, look, I got to sneak something by. I'm going to turn around, grab the ball, and quick pitch this guy. And so everybody sprints their positions on the throw. I turn around, there's no ball on the mound.
Right.
So now we're on even playing ground again, and I'm trying to keep them from hitting anything good. I don't walk people. I play a lot of adult league baseball, and I do not walk people. And I was so hyped up, I walked the first guy.
Now, Doug, do you think that the Bananas should keep this fans catching balls for outs rule?
I love it. I love it. I love it. With that foul ball there, though, I had an 0-2 count. I was going to come back with all knuckleballs. Wakefield spent some time with me, taught me how to throw a knuckle. I was going to go for all knuckleballs and hope and pray that maybe he'd swing and miss, but I will take that out any way I can get it. That was unbelievable. It caught me by surprise. Like I wasn't thinking of that rule in the moment.
Doug, despite being a relatively young fella still, I might be dating myself just a bit. I actually watched the last Knuckler way back in the day when you were on that.
Yeah, and I really did have a decent knuckleball. I just screwed up one of the competitions. I put the ball through the same pane of glass like 5 times. So it was really cool because you got to spend a whole week with Wake working on knuckleballs, and it was a blast. And like I said, I play adult league stuff, so you don't throw hard anymore, so you throw junk, and there's no more junk than the knuckleball.
A great piece of hitting there by Reese Hampton over the head of Michael Deeb. And Reese Lightning on his horse will pump the brakes at second and be content with his tour-leading 25th double.
And that's usually where you see the party animals who are able to take advantage in full counts. Michael Deeb was shaded in for the sprint defense, and Reese able to poke that one out to the opposite way. Got it over Deeb's head, where normally that's not a situation you'd see that happen.
Should know better than to be on sprint defense with Nolan Daniel. He hasn't allowed a sprint in his 7 2/3 innings thrown so far on the tour. Now
this is a great game. All the thing that is common lingo and knowledge to you guys, it's a lot of fun. All the extras, all the little extras, the walk and having to touch the ball around the infield and keep the guy from getting a second, and especially when there's a runner on base and stuff like that's going on.
Well, it's baseball at its core. It's just in a situation like this, you don't have a free base because a sprint 4 balls will score Hampton easily from second. And of course, fans could catch foul ball for outs. You have some experience with that.
I love it, and I'm going to talk to the guys in our leagues about that. Of course, we don't have any fans, so that kind of defeats the purpose.
But maybe this would change that.
Maybe they come. If they catch a foul ball, we'll buy them a dinner.
You want us to come and be fans
Please,
for the game?
Bring gloves. Well, you got to encourage the fans to all bring gloves, especially the pitchers. Pitchers should be lobbying. They should bring 100 extra gloves, and pitchers pass out the gloves.
That's a great idea. Can't believe we haven't thought of that. Check swing, did he go? John Burns says Cornette was able to hold on.
I'm 106 years old, and I still bring my glove to Fenway. All right? I'm still waiting for my foul balls and catching them and all that. It's a blast. I'm 10 years old.
1-2 coming here to the Party Animals number 2 hitter. Slider is knocked to first, and under the leg, Eric Jones Jr. will grab his 12th trick play in 15 attempts on the tour.
After being unsuccessful in his first try, mainly due to the speed of the man on third base, Reese Hampton, Eric Jones, knowing Dalton Cornette, not the fastest base runner for the Party Animals, has plenty of time to go under the legs and feed that ball to Nolan Daniel for his 12th trick play.
And of course, that is another thing that you tend not to see in baseball.
Yeah,
Line drive grabbed by Ryan Cox, and that is a diving play to save a run.
Attaboy. I tell you, I watched him warm up earlier today, and he is an athlete at shortstop. He's the king of trick plays, isn't he?
He is. 122 on the tour. Dustin Baber, the second baseman for the Party Animals, is the closest man to him with 69.
Right.
And Coxie, with a very similar play 2 nights ago in Hartford, got number 7 in SportsCenter's top plays. He is not a one-trick pony. Well, we now will turn Brockton, Massachusetts yellow. Full capacity crowd on hand on our 28th stop on the tour. And this is a really cool scene every time. So as we go full yellow here in Campanelli Stadium, Doug, can you talk to me a little bit about what it was like warming up for this game? Because obviously you don't just go out there and start hurling your knuckleballs.
Yeah, I was here early hanging out with the guys that took a little BP in the cage for fun, and hung out with Johnny and the guys. But around the second inning, I started really throwing underneath. And when you're 109 years old, you got to, it takes a little while to warm up. So I joke all the time about that, but amazingly, I can pick up a ball and throw like 5 or 6 throws, and I'm good to go, and it's time to start it up.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make sure I didn't hurt anything and lubed it up a little bit and got out there. And like I said, by the time I got on the mound, I was a little fired up, and the ball was running like an extra foot. I throw I usually can throw strikes in my sleep, and I walk the first batter. And the one thing you don't want to do is walk the batter, because it can turn into a double. You can get the double out of it.
Right. Or a triple we saw with Garrett Delano.
Oh, throw the ball away. Guys ends up on third. Put a lot of pressure on the defense. They did a great job handling it. Then I was just thankful for the foul ball and the fan.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, we see, a lot of guys come here from minor league baseball. I mean, Brett Helton, the guy on the mound, 4 years of experience in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. It's always fascinating to see them come here and see if they can glean anything from banana ball that they could take back to baseball. Did you have any kind of similar experience going up to Canada, winning 6 league MVPs and then coming back to the NFL?
What it does for guys is puts them in an atmosphere. There's so many guys with the talent to do it. You need to regain your confidence and find out the things you do really well. And when I went to Canada, I relaxed. I was in charge of my own offense a lot, and I just wheeled and dealed and played loose.
Yes.
And that's the way these guys are playing. And all of a sudden, they're going to show their true talent at some point here because they're playing loose and free. The problem is when you're playing at the major league level, to somehow bottle that and play loose and free. It's very, like I said, I played 21 years of professional football. I was jacked up to get on the mound and throw in front of the crowd.
Of course.
You got to control those things.
Yeah, that's cool to hear.
Yeah, but that's regain all these guys. It's such a confidence game where major leaguers go through it. They go into slumps and then they come out of them. When they're hot, they're really hot, and it's just stepping up with all that confidence in the world.
Bill Leroy will lead off the bottom of the 8th. It is 8, 9, and 10 in the Nanners order. Brett Helton is out for his 8th inning on the bump.
Can I be a homer with the Bananas here? We need to win this inning.
Yeah, you can go crazy with that.
It's
poked down the right field line, and the fans fail to catch it.
I think you got to pinch hit Johnny Damon again to get the run in. Is that what we got to do? We got to do it.
Feels right to me. Right now, it's scheduled to be Leroy, Jackson Olsen, and Noah Bridges.
Yeah, it's time. I don't want to wait to the 9th to have to do it.
Although I do see the bat tricking extraordinaire, Mr. Alex Ziegler, getting loose down there. This one roped up the middle base hit.
Pretty.
Bill's 2 for 3. And that is the potential inning-winning run aboard.
Yes, and a beautiful back flip halfway down the first baseline. I haven't seen too many bat flips down the first baseline on just a single.
Yeah.
But that's the nature of this. We're having fun.
That's a fact. Now Jackson Olsen 0 for 2 on the night. A ground out and a fly out. Lines that one.
That's in the gap.
Deep to right center. It's not going to be caught. Hampton fires it in. Leroy being waved around third.
Sir.
Walk him off.
You're welcome.
Doug Flutie, thank you so much, my dear friend.
Appreciate it, guys.
Great work, Doug.
A lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
There goes Doug Flutie, one of the legends of American and Canadian football. And he comes to the booth to spark an 8th inning win for his Bananas.
Yeah, and it's surprising that the Party Animals decided to keep Brett Helton in the 8th inning. He entered the inning with 95 pitches in the ball game, and they're on pitch 99 to Jackson Olsen, able to drive it out to left center field and get the Bananas tied up at 2 points each in this ball game.
You get another look at it there. Line drive single from Bill Leroy, and then the booming double from Jackson Olsen. for his 15th walk-off on the tour. Here's the young professor.
Every run counts for a point. That means anything that is scored on will count to the overall total. If we are still tied at the end of this inning, it will force the showdown tiebreaker. But this is where things get exciting. So Brockton, Massachusetts, make some noise and welcome to the final inning!
As Shark lets the full capacity crowd here in Brockton, Massachusetts know about the ring dudes that are flashing the signs that Cowboy Kyle is showing you on our graphic here. You get another recap on what it means to be in the final inning of a banana ball game. Kyle Lewiggs on the Nanners dugout, Jake Lialios on the Party Animals dugout, and they will entertain the good folks that make up the 273rd straight sold-out Bananas crowd as we are locked at 2 points apiece heading into our final inning with the best pitcher on this 2023 World Tour taking over.
And the Party Animals touched him up a little bit in the month of July, but he has come back especially strong here in August. In his last outing, 2 strikeouts in the 9th inning, which was his 26th appearance of the season, which was a multi-strikeout outing. And he is 4 for his last 4 in showdown shutdowns. If we get to that point, this is likely the man you'll still see on the hill for the Bananas.
And he spent the first 8 innings of this ball game holding down second base. Now he toes the slab with the meat of the Party Animals order coming to swing it in the top of the 9th. Bryson Bloomer, Jake Skoll, and Garrett Delano, the big boppers, 4, 5, and 6. All due up as you get a look at the astronomical numbers that Danny Hosley has put together so far this season. And he starts Bloomer off with the patented changeup. It's a Vulcan changeup. Moves about half a mile before it finds a home in Bill Leroy's mitt. And then the fastball's fired high. Those are 2 of his 3 pitches. He rounds out the arsenal with a 12-6 curveball.
And with Danny Hosley off of the infield and on the pitcher's mound, we've got to look at the new defensive alignment for the Bananas. Dalton Malden is manning second base unsurprisingly, but Dakota McFadden is out in right field for the Bananas here in the 9th.
Big swing and a miss. Righty on righty changeup. Fist pumps from Hosley and Leroy. And that is out number 1 as Bloomer 0 for 3 on the night. He was the man who fouled out to a fan when hitting against Mr. Doug Flutie. Now Jake Skoll, 0 for 3. Ground out, strikeout, pop out. Party Animals left fielder, pacing the tour in the triples, RBI, and sprint departments.
And this feels like the man, by the way, who has become one of the most entertaining at-bats against Danny Hosley as we see these guys, you know, exchange some words during their plate appearances, and Danny Hosley has really baffled Jake Skoll with the blend of pitches, especially in showdowns in Hartford. It was Danny Hosley in a 1-2 count when Jake Skoll was expecting more off speed, which Hosley continues to pound against him, who went heater on the outside corner to catch him looking and send it to the bottom half of the showdowns where the Bananas were able to win.
And the matchup before that was leading off the 9th inning in Staten Island when Skoll got a couple fastballs early in the count and then was change-upped to death in what was another strikeout. It had Skoll barking at Hosley to give him some heaters.
And once again, you see Hosley in that 1-2 count. So does he go back to the fastball, much like the last at-bat between the two, or will we see more off speed?
Just misses the outside corner there. 2-2 pitch coming now. Swing and a miss. A hat trick of strikeouts for Jake Skoll in his last 3 trips to the dish against Danny Hosley. That time it is back to Old Faithful, the changeup, the weapon of choice.
Yeah, and Jake Skoll just out in front of that pitch more than anything, and that's really been the thing that has killed him recently. As much as he's been back to his former self here in August, it's still some of those breaking balls and off-speed pitches that continue to cause some fits for him.
Well, he leads the tour in triples, ribeyes, and sprints. As I mentioned, he also leads the tour in strikeouts. That was his 45th. Now Garrett Delano, 1 for 2 on the evening, the Party Animals extra hitter. Worked a three-base sprint and scored the inning-winning run in the 7th. Singled back in the 5th, struck out in his first at-bat against Jared Donaldson as he nails Tucker Perry, who has been hit by a foul ball for the 2nd time tonight. That guy is a ball magnet.
They got to give that guy Dalton Cornett's catcher's gear or something. He's not using it tonight.
Oh, look out. Delano nearly gets a heater to the head. He's allowed to leave the box because he nearly just had his bell rung. And Hosley lives about 91 to 93 miles an hour with the fastball, so that is a scary scene.
He just Keanu Reeves'd that banana ball.
Matrixed his way right out of the batter's box. Deuce is wild. And it's the front door 12-6 curve fouled off.
Yeah, Danny Hosley kept that 12-6 curve a little up in the zone there, and Garrett Delano almost timed it perfectly, just a little early on a double down the line.
Boy, and what a battle here between the two former John Olerud Award finalists for the best two-way players in college baseball. Third 2-2 pitch coming. Cut and a miss! Hosley went right after him. He strikes out the side, and here's the young professor.
And the boys in yellow have managed to hold off the Party Animals, and they do not score a run in the top of the 9th, which means that this is the time for the Savannah Bananas to get busy inside the batter's box. Any run that is scored will end the game, but if we are tied, we will go to a one-on-one showdown tiebreaker. Regardless of what happens, tensions are high. Tell me, Brockton, Massachusetts, can you feel it? Ladies and gentlemen, get loud because this is it!
Another look at Danny Hosley punching out the side. Uses a good old-fashioned country hardball. The cheese right down the chute. Blows away Delano and picks up 3 strikeouts against the 3 batters he faces. 3 tremendous batters at that. Bloomer hitting .327, Skoll .328, Delano .308. And now it will be the best man out of the Party Animals bullpen, especially as of late. It is Drew Gillespie coming in as Alex Ziegler balances a bat on fire out behind second base because banana ball.
I mean, the Bananas are batting just a hair above 200 as a team against Drew Gillespie. They're sitting at a 205 mark. And for Gillespie, you're getting a lot of strikes. You're getting a guy mixing with timing and the arm angles, and I think that's why you've seen so much success. He's also become the guy that the Party Animals are turning to in showdown situations, and in 5 showdown opportunities, he's had 3 showdown shutdowns.
He has Noah Bridges, and then the top of the order, D.R. Meadows and Michael Deeb. Bridges struck out looking in his lone plate appearance against Brett Helton. The pride of Four Oaks, North Carolina, looking to be the hero tonight, and fouls the first offering straight back. That was a fastball from Gillespie. Throws 4-seam, 2-seam, and cut fastballs, and works in a changeup and curveball as well. Fools around with arm angles. About 4 out of every 5 pitches will be 3/4, but sometimes he'll go sidearm, and sometimes he'll come straight over the top.
And let's not forget, this is a Bananas team batting .347 in the 9th inning this season, the highest single inning mark by their team in any inning as Bridges sprays this down the left field line. And boy, the fans were starting to look like they could have come up with that foul ball, but it will trickle and hit the ground. Noah Bridges is staying alive in this at-bat against Drew Gillespie.
The Albuquerque, New Mexico native fires another one too. and it's a slider that is fouled off. Gillespie spent 3 years in his hometown at the University of New Mexico, finished up with 3 years in Lakeland, Florida at Southeastern University, where he took home a national championship. Cut and a miss. There is that devastating changeup, and he gets Bridges swinging.
Yeah, just when you felt like Drew Gillespie might go fastball after throwing the slider that Bridges was able to spoil, he stays on that outside corner of the plate, which has caused some trouble for Noah Bridges, and gets the big swing and a miss. And earlier in the game, we saw Bridges strike out looking because of a call on that outside part of the plate. So that, I think, is the reason you saw Bridges have to swing at that pitch from Gillespie.
It's an excellent point. 1-1 now at Deer Meadows. We go back to the top of the order, where the Banana center fielder is 2 for 3. Tries to check his swing on the curveball. Wow! Reggie Liggins said that he was able to hold it up. He certainly has a far better view than Josh and I in the booth. So a 2-1 to the Nanners center fielder, and it's a heater to even up the count. Two-two. Slider is tapped towards second. Dustin Baber will take care of it. And 2 quick outs for Gillespie as we are 1 out away from tiebreaker showdowns.
And this is what you've seen Drew Gillespie do so well, is limit the offensive output of the top of the order. DR Meadows is now just 1 for 6 in his banana ball career against Drew Gillespie. Michael Deeb enters here 1 for 5, and Dan Oberst, the man on deck also, he is still hitless against Drew Gillespie on the tour.
Michael Deeb, 1 for 2 on the night. A single his last time up, a sprint his first time. He came around to score the inning-winning run in the first on the walk-off single from Johnny Damon.
Thank you very much.
2-1 to Deeb. Heater scrapes the outside corner. Vitamin Deeb agrees with the call, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Gillespie in a groove, firing home. Misses down, and the count runs full.
And that's the second ball that Joe Lytle has been able to block in the dirt, and that is really imperative considering this is the 9th inning, and for any of these balls to get away from Joe, you likely would have seen Noah and or Deeb here trying to swipe first base there and get on base.
This one popped left side into foul territory. Jake Skoll has room to make the play on the tarp. Incredible snag to send us to showdowns. Here's the young professor.
Extra innings. If the game is tied at the end of 9, that means, ladies and gentlemen, that it is time for the showdown! The showdown works like this. 1 hitter versus 1 pitcher with 1 fielder. Both teams will send 1 batter to the plate. Their job is to score an inside the park home run, score a run unanswered by the other team. A home run hit over the wall ends the whole team. The first team to do it without the other team answering back will win. Get ready, Brockton. It's the moment you've been for. Welcome to the showdown. Pitching for the Bananas is Danny Hosley. Noah Bridges is the fielder. And stepping into the batter's box for the Party Animals is Reese.
This is worth the price of admission alone. Of course, when the price of admission at a Nanners game is $25, with all taxes and fees taken care of, that's a low bar. But boy, oh boy, getting to see the best pitcher on the tour against the best hitter on the tour is worth it in itself. Hampton popped out to Hosley and Hartford in this very matchup, and that is a sword as he cuts and misses at the first pitch changeup. It's the most deceptive pitch in banana ball history. And now this one's bounced foul. Quick 0-2 count on Hampton, who's 2 for 4 on the night with an RBI single and a double.
And this is what makes Danny Hosley very effective in showdowns, especially as of late. He continues to get ahead of counts.
That ball destroyed. If it's fair, the game is over. Reese Hampton walks it off with an out-of-the-park home run, and the Party Animals win Massachusetts.
We've got history in banana ball for the first time ever. The ball leaves the yard in Showdowns, and the Bananas will not have an opportunity to swing it. What a moment on this Banana Ball World Tour for Reese Hampton.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the over-the-fence home run, the Party Animals have won this game.
How the turntables in Banana Ball. Hampton down 0-2 in the count, gets a hanging 12-6 curveball, sends it to the land of good and plenty, and the Party Animals break their streak of losing 8 straight road games to the Nanners in emphatic fashion.
It is unbelievable what Reese Hampton was able to do there. Just having to guess, in a sense, the pitch sequence that was coming there from Danny Hosley. He had the feeling it was the breaking ball coming his way, and I'm telling you, he did not miss it.
The final score, Party Animals 3, Bananas 2. Brockton, we love you so much. The party is just beginning. Thank you so much for coming out here tonight. We love you very much. We want to reward you with the Plaza Party out front with all of your favorite Party Animals and Bananas, taking pictures with you, signing autographs. We're going to have some more fun with you. They'll be out there in just a few minutes getting this party started. Plaza Party out front here in Brockton. Once again, Bananas Nation, we love you so much. We appreciate you more than you can even know. My name is Shark, and we'll see you outside on the Plaza Party. Thank you.
What a way for the bad boys of Banana Land to win Jesse Cole's home state. Our fearless owner here of Fans First Entertainment, a Scituate, Mass native, and boy, oh boy, in a game that the Nanners led by 1 point for 5 innings, the Party Animals win the 6th and the 7th. The Nanners take the 8th, and it is Reese Hampton absolutely smashing that 0-2 12-6 curveball from Danny Hosley, and they will not get that ball back.
Look, again, it was a pitcher's duel all night long. And first of all, I feel like we need to give credit to Brett Helton for his performance. Despite giving up the walk-off in the 1st and the 8th, a guy who went out and tossed across 8 innings, 99 pitches for the Party Animals, and the bullpen's been shaky. It's something they didn't have to deal with tonight. Drew Gillespie gets them into Showdowns, and of course, the reason the Party Animals send Reese Hampton up to the plate first in Showdowns every time is the great blend of power and speed, and most of the times we see it with balls that are going down the right or left field line, depending on the side of the plate he's batting for, but this time, it was all strength from Hampton as we, again, saw some history in Banana Ball tonight.
He is Josh Talevsky. I am Biko Scala. Just absolutely mind-boggling that Reese Hampton, who does have 9 bombs on the tour, that is the 10th that you just saw right there, although it will not count towards his statistics overall because Showdown stats are completely separate from what happens in the 9 innings or within the 2-hour time limit, whichever occurs first in Banana Ball. He's tied for 2nd on the tour with those 9 home runs. He sent that thing a mile high and probably close to 400 feet far because it was no doubt off the bat that it was not going to be contained by Campanelli Field. The only question was which side of the foul pole it was going to land on.
And look, I can guarantee you that when we talk to Reese Hampton after this game, I would be absolutely floored if he did not say that that was his favorite swing and home run of his Banana Ball career with this magnitude and coming off of the best pitcher on the tour this season.
100%, who completely has owned the Party Animals and challengers alike and was on an incredible roll to start August here, had just struck out the side 4, 5, and 6 in the order for the Party Animals, 3 of the best bats that are on either side, and Hampton, who is the best bat on either side, showed us why right there.
And one more thing to possibly consider when we analyze that showdown between Reese Hampton and Danny Hosley. His good buddy Jake Skoll was the first batter to bat against Hosley in the 9th inning. And you know Skoll and Hampton, such a close relationship. I bet that they spent a lot of time before showdowns talking about Hosley's approach going into that AB. I'm sure that helped Reese Hampton tremendously.
You could see Bryson Bloomer, rather, talking to Jake Skoll before Skoll then struck out against Danny Hosley. So there is so much communication going on between these professional hitters in both dugouts. And boy, oh boy, Hampton got a hanging 12-6 curveball, and he did not miss it. So the Party Animals take Massachusetts. That is a huge swing of the old lumber from Reese Lightning, and now we will set our sights on Portland, Maine. Thank you so much to everybody who watched tonight here Wednesday on YouTube and on Nesson 360. It has been an absolute blast. It will be the exact same broadcasting situation for you good folks on Friday night in Portland. We will be live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern for the pregame show on YouTube and Nesson 360, and first pitch will be at 7 p.m. Eastern for the first of 2 games that we are having in Maine. It is going to be an absolute blast, and now the Party Animals, once again, within 5 games of the Bananas, with 10 games left on their schedule against the Nanners on this tour. Once again, that is fluid, because who knows what is going to happen in Milwaukee.
Look, it feels like momentum is now on their side. And one question I've got to ask you before we wrap things up, what do you think means more to the Party Animals right now? Getting the walk-off win and snapping an 8-game road losing streak, or claiming the state of Massachusetts?
Oh my gosh, I personally think taking Jesse Cole's home state takes the cake. I mean, that is, you can't make that up. For the Party Animals to take Jesse Cole's home state, who, of course, through his beautiful mind and so many others in Banana Land, created the Nanners in 2016 and did not create the Party Animals until 2020 as the little brother of Banana Land, taking Jesse's home state, for me, if I was on that side of the ball, would take the cake for me. And it's good to check in on Larry Rock Lobster, who my grandpa, watching in New York, second Larry Scala shout-out of the evening, said, hi, Biko, when you started the lobster contest, I would have voted Larry. Thanks to all that voted for Larry.
Well, I think we got the best of both worlds at the end of the day. Larry, Rock Lobster, and man, look at this little joker. I think we've seen a little bit of an increase in mass.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely soaking up some of this water that it is now calling its habitat and ecosystem. And we will have another check-in on Larry Rock Lobster when we kick off our pregame show on Friday night in Portland, Maine.
I think we've got to get him a couple of those plastic trees and things, little things for him to play with around there.
By the way, shout out Matt Stanton, who was the first person I saw in the YouTube chat to say Brock Lobster. Now, somebody else may have had it first, but I'm pretty sure early on in the pregame show, I saw our guy, Matt Stanton, put Brock Lobster there, and Larry was the obvious choice, and an amazing one. Thank you to everybody who contributed that as well. As a man who has an incredible grandfather named Larry, it's close to my heart, but boy, Brock Lobster's some good stuff.
I mean, and then Kyle comes up and just references a B-52 plane without even realizing it.
Completely accidentally. I can tell you for a fact that Kyle Lewigs has no idea that the B-52s are the artists that gave us Rock Lobster.
You know what they call that, right? Massachusetts magic.
Oh, that is a fact. For a little more Massachusetts magic, it is time to give away a free pair of Hokas. Hopefully the juju in the Bay State is with you tonight. Drum roll, please, Josh. Our winner of the free pair of Hokas this evening in the first ever Banana Ball game in the Pilgrim State is Kim Pamphilis. Kim Pamphilis, thank you so much for watching tonight and for entering our Hokas giveaway. Thank you, Zappos, for giving away said pair of Hokas. Boy, what a doozy. it was tonight. Before we shut this thing down and bid you adieu until we see you in Portland, Maine on Friday night, got to shout out the cast and crew that made this whole thing possible. It stouts, and it starts in our city by the sea down in Savannah, Georgia. It is Mr. Griffin Ellis, our technical director and director. Two jobs for one Griffin. I'm just absolutely all bungled up here. Griffin, you're a superstar, and you know it. Same goes for Katie Duke on the audio, dominating the ones and the twos, and on the scorebook, Kwanzi, one name, you know him, you love him. Same goes for Mikey O'Connor on the stats that are on the graphics, and Julia Massey sending those graphics out and crafting some beauties for you folks. It is a 3-person graphics team that I would put up against any on the Eastern Seaboard. Shout out our replay magician, Mr. Keegan Woods, handling a couple challenges tonight and all kinds of plays that we needed to see more than once. And when it comes to the folks here in Brockton, Massachusetts, on the first base cam, it was DJ Squints himself, Mr. Nick Keldy, across the diamond, the Iron Horse of BTV, Emerson Elmgren. That is a dynamic duo that could cover the base cams for any broadcast in the country. They're incredible. So is Mr. Clayton Franklin, the high home cameraman, just one booth over for us. Claytonius, you are a superstar, as is our associate producer / wireless camera extraordinaire. That is Mr. Chris Haynes. He can do anything, and he will do it incredibly. On the low home, Braden Hoskovic, my roommate in Hartford. I miss you, Braden, although getting to room with Yvonne Trezak, our director of creative content, is an incredible consolation prize. Our video legend, Chris Sacchi, the Italian rapscallion, saucing up that showman mix for DR Meadows that our great Josh Talevsky absolutely smashed. Our YouTube king, Zach Bro. You like that?
Yeah.
I was trying to get a new adjective.
Nice.
Yeah, I got it in there. Zach Bro, our YouTube king, does so much behind the scenes you couldn't even possibly imagine it. And our Zappos and K-Club queen, Melissa Beal, a.k.a. Melly Beans, a.k.a. Millicent Beans Supreme. Josh Talevsky on the color commentary and statistical savantry. Unbelievable job.
Biko, I am so glad you got to do some play-by-play in Campanelli Park.
Yeah, nailed it. Thank you to Doug Flutie, Jared Carabas, and Kyle Lewix for joining us in the broadcast booth. And shout out the executive producers of BTV, Emily, Jesse, and Carrie Cole, alongside Mr. Jared Orton. For Chad Reese, the coordinating producer of BTV, the straw that stirs this delicious drink that we got to bring to you for the 74th time here on the tour, I am Biko Scala saying so long for now. The Party Animals win in absolute thriller and walk-off fashion. Reese Hampton with the first ever out-of-the-park game-ending home run in Showdowns. They are now 5 games behind the Nanners with 10 games on the schedule left against them, and we will see you with the Party Animals taking on the Bananas on Friday night from Portland, Maine. 6:30 p.m. Eastern pregame, 7 p.m. Eastern first pitch. We will see you there, and of course, we'll see you later!